making that break towards the international. That's what everyone is vying for here, as we already have everybody smoked up. Big Fat B leading out, while the Slayers also smoked in behind them, technically.
Yeah.
If they go up this high ground and clash heads, it could get interesting quickly.
4 anchors moved up without smoking and then smoked because they, were waiting to get the most value on the duration on it. So you still will have this smoke going for a while, and they're in good position to maybe get a stab. If anybody backs up the cliff. Oh, Rubik broke. And since Dire were not smoked, they don't know about it.
Oh, it's so spooky. Those staircases are devilish. It's like playing DayZ in the olden days, 10 years ago. You go into the firehouse, you walk down the stairs, you break your leg. You don't want to be doing that here.
Definitely not. Want to be careful. I think at this
level,
level,
past each other.
At this level, it's usually a mistake not to buy the smoke level 1. By the way, they didn't do a smoke at all, and I think overall you lose that information. Did they smoke? Did they insta smoke?
Yeah, both teams smoked.
Oh yeah, they did actually. Never mind.
They got the wards over in the entrance.
True.
DNM. Mid lane Pango up against the Slardar. And you said Slardar crushes this one?
That's what the hero does. Yeah, this matchup is really hard. Pango can get some CS going for him, but ultimately you're just getting beat down, and you can see that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't have Bash yet, it still hurts. And once he gets Bash and Crush stun, it's too much to handle.
Already getting punched. I say across all 3 lanes. Tusk and Lina up top. Pretty powerful lane in its own right, already trapping Roseanne Rubik in the shard. There's constant harassment, just looking to put people within kill threshold. In the 3rd lane, bottom, Troll and Undying against this DP Snapfire. Lane is already in a pretty good place here for the Dire, dragging it a little bit closer to their own tier 1, which means they get the chase.
They're chasing, they're doing a lot of Reckitt damage. Double King has Magic Stick, but I mean, you're low, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to get in close and go head to head with that Death Prophet, but now it's Big Fat B getting turned on. Another decay there. Tops him up to about 100 health, but in comes that magic spam damage. Scatterblast and the Crypt Swarm. Enough to take him down for first blood.
I mean, this is really painful. Troll is away from lane for a long time as well, just regening in the sidelines, and Snapfire is actually going to zone him, so they're completely taking control of the lane. They did have a lot of going for them here, being double range against an Undying. I mentioned how good it is against Troll, but against Undying as well. Easy to split when you have 2 heroes who both have long range.
Yeah, and usually in this kind of situation, Undying will come back and be like, okay, not a big deal, I'm full resources again. Let's go level 2, right? Level 2 Undying is meant to be this pretty big power spike in lane with Decay plus Tombstone. Not such a problem here, as you've already explained, with both these ranged heroes and having Little Shredder on the snap. Makes Tombstone kind of useless.
Exactly. I mean, there will be a timing where you can kind of drop the Tombstone before they have that. Oh, Roseanne walked too close. The tag team slows him down so much.
Already a very good start for the Dire. The Slayers are slaying.
Lanes are working out beautifully. To their credit though, DNM is doing a good job CSing on mid lane. He is looking like he's ahead right now. Oh, commitment on Snap.
Yeah, Snap level 2 doesn't have the Little Shredder yet, so that Tombstone does pay off for Big Fat B. Reclaim a bit of territory down here, and you've also put the Death Prophet within striking range. Has to ferry more regen out just to stay in the lane.
Yeah, she's gonna send out some regen with her support as well when he respawns.
And Troll can get back to last hitting and dragging his feet a little bit down at the bottom of the last hit board in terms of core heroes, but to get back up there.
Getting the healing Lotus on them is pretty useful though. Roseanne has been trapped. Omni's trying to fight back, but can't really stop this.
Again, Tusk and Lina. Long range damage from this Lina. Limited commitment from the Tusk as well. Just has to kind of step up to this range support.
Yeah, this is what I was mentioning earlier. The Fiery Soul level 2.
Dying down bottom. One more touch. Spirit Siphon takes him out of it. Big Fat B left here with no Tombstone for 10 seconds, trying to put the damage onto Looper, but the Death Prophet gets away.
And even secures the creep as well. Very nice nuke from far away. Pango's managed to do quite a bit of damage to the Slardar, but it's ever so difficult to fight him in the river. And as the runes are spawning, both the mid laners are just gonna heal up.
Well, every time this tomb is up, they're making it work. Yeah, this timing pre-little shredder, kind of a big deal. I don't know why I was expecting Snapfire to go for little shredder quite early on, but I guess Scatter Blast and Cookie are just better magic damage early.
He still has to go for this. Yeah, he still has to go for the double nuke build. It's stronger overall, and this is a good move by Big Fat B, just going into zone the DP.
Yeah, I kind of imagine like a 1-1-1 build, but yeah, you're right. It just makes more sense going for this on the snap. It does mean that Big Fat B is getting value out of this lane though. And with the tombstone, with that pressure, they force them back at the tower.
Yes.
It hasn't netted them an amazing increase in the last hits from the troll yet though.
No, as much as the troll is struggling, the Undying is very happy with this non-stop fighting. The hero is still built for fighting, has his early boots, good at running at people. But it does come at the expense of Troll's game pretty much.
Definitely been a scrappy early game though. These side lanes back and forth, fighting pretty hard. Yeah. This mid lane is going to be a big difference maker once we strike out of there with level 6 on Pango, maybe a movement from the Slardar through the river.
It is going to be Slardar has the ability to move first though, as the Pango had to go all the way base and now TP'd out, but Slardar looking to get involved in top lane. As bottom is of course fighting again, but the Slardar looking for a wraparound on the Omni Knight.
He places his own Olsen sentry, sees the Rubik, and they'll come in with the shards. Tag team, Tusk is there to lock in on the Rubik. Roseanne yet again getting caught out.
Yeah, and Omni can at least get the courier. He's chasing him, he's running away from it. The scare courier, but he's gonna be fine. He will go and take the bounty rune, because what else can he do right now? Doesn't find the Slaughter courier as well though.
And Big Fat B again getting up in the faces of the DP and Snap. This time though, the troll looking to connect and join in with a bit more damage out of the axes. I've got another decay, another couple of punches, but with Tusk's arrival, they're going to shut down the Undying. They lose the snap, but now the shards block the troll in. Locked up next to the trees and the ice and taken down with a double kill from the Death Prophet.
I really like that move from Menace, coming down to the bottom lane, making some swings between the side lanes now can be so important because you have big kill potential in either of the lanes. So getting some of that movement going. Just TPing down here, easy kill. And Troll stays struggling.
That's not easy for him at all. Is Pango struggling as much as we'd expect though? It feels like DNM's doing all right.
Yeah, he's doing better than I would have expected, and that comes down to him being such a good player overall. He just really knows his mid lane mechanics. I think he's maybe the stronger player between him and Vagabond, but Vagabond has a really good matchup, so Pango is trying to do what he can. Did find the leader to bottle up as well, which can be useful for the first gank.
We'll see if he can get something done with it. First Rolling Thunder can really set the mark on the game. Up top, Laguna Blade chucked in from this Lina. Tusk wrapping around behind onto Dota Master, but this Omni Knight's going to be able to swing back with his big hammer. And a rotation from Big Fat B and DNM both arriving, bring the numbers up top. They made sure to shut that one down quickly.
Yeah, good takedown, but Lina gets herself to safety as well, not going to stick around. This does open up an opportunity to deal damage to a building though. DD Rune's still running for quite a while. Pango's still hunting, but they could just crack this tower nice and quick. Meanwhile, of course, DP is wasting no time, doing the same thing. She sees a lot of people moving top. She pops the Exorcism down bottom. And Troll tries to show up to leech a bit, but dangerous when Tusk comes in. Next creepway will be a dive.
And Big Fat B is going to get the tombstone down. And Troll fighting back under this tower, killing off the Death Prophet, who went a step too far and it took a few too many tower hits.
Get them all.
Tusk snowballing to save himself. That's just going to delay his death. He's got no way out of here. A double kill for Double King. And Snapfire teleporting. Roseanne has the lift. The vision over the cliff finds the grab. And all of a sudden, a massive situation for 4 anchors and Dota Sama down bottom, as we almost had a troll wall or triple kill. But they defend the tower, bring double kill back into the game, as it looks like this Pango is going to roll away from Slardar up at top.
I was really unfortunate for Lupa there. He played a little bit too early on the timing. Exorcism was about to come back in and heal him. He had 9 magic stick charges and the healing Lotus, but did not manage to stay alive. So if he just lived a little bit longer, he would have been able to heal up to full. but took too many tower shots into the zombies as well. Brought him low. Vagabond trying to fight this Undying.
He's got a Rubik and a Pango here, though. He's got buddies arriving. TP out, it's not going to work. He's dead.
Dangerous solo move. He had a ward in the area. I think he saw the Rubik, but didn't expect the Pango as well to show up. Against Rubik and Undying, he would have gone to kill, but they're playing as a tight team over on 4 anchors in Dota Sama.
Lina back into jungle. I thought Vagabond was very, very still and very calm, but I think his cam's frozen.
No.
I was about to praise him for his posture, because he's like sitting very straight. Posture looks good, you know. Eye level into the monitor looks good.
He's pining for the fjords. Snapfire.
Snapfire's going to get mid.
Yeah. Grab some levels.
Experience.
Get yourself a little bit of EXP.
Yeah, level 6 pretty good on Snap. Especially when you've got Tusk, Slardar to set up some kisses. Invis Rune going to get stolen by the Undying. And now Slayers, figuring out what to do now can be a little challenging for kind of amateur teams, right? You've tried to go bottom and you've been thwarted. You failed. So Slardar's waiting for Blink, so that's the timing that he wants. Sitting back kind of feels like the easy route, right? But we want to see them continue to use Exorcism. Use these cooldowns, play aggressively.
Yeah, ideally they want to get, Slardar involved in some good action as they chase down bottom. Troll, his ulti had to be popped to keep him alive, but I think he's gonna drop in the end.
He's trying to turn and fight, but the ghosts are coming for him. He's not surviving that. And DP comes out with the Exorcism, and they do continue to keep that pressure going on in that bottom lane. They should be able to finish off the tower eventually.
That's so difficult so difficult to deal with a DP ulti like that, but they're at least making the most during it, pushing down mid, shoving, using the tombstone. Wow, they actually found that kill on Slardar. What?
Yeah, just a little surprising.
Just level 4 decay and a little blood grenade and he died.
There's another dive bottom though onto Roseanne. Rubik does get the lift. Maybe denied to neutrals. Nah, it's going to be difficult whichever way you go.
Roseanne.
Menace down bottom.
Roseanne still struggling to get the level 6 on Rubik. Just wants to leech some experience, but at least better Rubik dying than Troll dying one more time. So Troll does find time to fire him up. Roll.
Yeah, coming into mid. DNM wants a Snapfire kill real bad, and he's going to find it. Also has a backup of Undying here if they want to continue fighting. And Vagabond could easily bite off more than he can chew. It's kind of a weird spot. Like, Omni has booted Lina out of that top lane. It seems like Lina doesn't want to sit there alone. DP has killed this troll over and over again and opened up that bottom lane. But the mid, where we expected Slardar to win, it's the Dire that lose their tier 1 first. And now 4 anchors have, this pivot point, right, from mid into both jungles that they can use to their advantage to stop the farming heroes.
Yeah. I think there's a few things to be said. The mid Slardar of Vagabond, he has really tried to gank a lot, but he only got 1 kill total to his name for it. And now the smoke will find the support. Diffusal might be enough to bring him down.
And they've got the one bit of stun to stop the TP.
Radiant are just getting towards more effective items quicker here. The Diffu came in so early. Blink still nowhere to be seen for the Slardar. 100 gold away. And not too far from now, this Radiance is going to complete on Omni-Knight, making him a serious threat.
Yeah, I mean, when this series was starting, when this game was starting, we were always looking at 4 anchors as kind of having the upper hand in terms of general Dota skill. And in this game, it feels like the Radiant and this runaway train, right? Getting to these, like you're saying, more effective items, but even just bigger items. Radiance on Omni, Battle Fury Troll, that's going to allow them to accelerate in that mid game even further. So if you can't pull the brakes on this runaway train, you can't jump on it, you can't go through it, you can't go over it. What is the Dire meant to do?
Well, they have the blink now, so you gotta make stuff happen with the Slardar at this very moment, and they're looking to do that. Chasing after, Cookie is available to stun if they need to. Should probably go for it.
And it's not gonna catch him properly. Sama's got backup coming in. Can they heal him enough to turn and kill the Slardar? Yes, but now Big Fat B and Roseanne in trouble. DNM DNM arrives on the scene of the crime, and this Undying Tombstone on the high ground, causing real problems for the Slayers. They lose both Snap and Slardar, and a good jump in towards the Ice Shards here is going to collapse onto the Tusk as well.
That's great for DNM. Such a good thing for him. He did struggle a bit, but you and I talked about that as well. DNM, you know, might have some games where the early game can look hard, but he is an experienced player who will pull himself back into the game as well. And now he's sitting at 4-0-3. Dominant force from the mid lane. That first connection from Lina, though, was pretty useful. Like, they need to try and find those chances for her to get engaged and get involved as well. And Lupa going for a witch. And now he's sitting at 4-0-3. Dominant force from the mid lane. That first connection from Lina, though, was pretty useful. Like, they need to try and find those chances for her to get engaged and get involved as well. And Lupa going for a Witchblade into Aghanim's build on the DP is definitely looking to scale himself as well. So both teams are trying to build, you know, a lot of progression in all heroes. I think the only one kind of slipping behind is the Slardar, which easily happens. If you go for this build, it's Face Boots instead of Power Treads, it's Blink Dagger first. You end up just really relying on getting those kills, otherwise you always become the least farmed core.
Yeah, then it's like, how do I get to Aghanim's? How do I get to BKB? How do I get, you know, there's all these, I want that next item so bad, and it's difficult to get there. Now, Lupa has run into the Troll here, popped the Exorcism, is trying to run away, but I think Troll just has the upper hand in this fight.
He realized a little bit late, I think on DP he could heal from all those creeps next to him, but in the end, not gonna be able to stay alive. Didn't pop the Spirit Siphon soon enough. I think he would maybe have died anyway. But it was a full stack for him to heal from.
I just imagine rounding the corner in that forest and seeing a Troll Warlord sitting waiting for you. Oh god.
That is massive.
To deserve this?
That is so huge for Double King, who has struggled in the start of the laning stage, but now feels amazing for him. He's accelerating really fast with the Battle Fury. Even if he knows there's a Lina farming on the other side of the map, you're very happy going late as a Troll against Lina. At some point you become difficult for her to deal with when you have the Battle Trance strong dispel in late level 25.
Because we haven't really felt the Lina yet. You know, she's popped her head around the corner in a couple of these fights, thrown a Laguna Blade in, but has very much been sitting and farming. Maelstrom, Boots of Travel, Dragonlance now coming on Courier. She's top of the net worth, and 4-0-1 is having a pretty stellar game so far.
He's doing very well. A smoke is coming his way, so we'll see if he can read this one and dodge it, but he is going to be under a ward soon, so this is definitely dangerous. They see the Courier coming in, they see him right now. This could be a beeline in. They have Blink on Pango, but he's got good senses. He steps away. The fact that he queued up the Hurricane is such a good idea as well, because in this game you need ways to get off the Omni Knight, you need to get away from the Pango, push the Undying away. Like, this is very high value game for Herkenbeck.
Man, she's fully out of there. TP's down to Ancients and continues farming while the rest of the Lina's team kind of sits in front of that Ancients area like a bunker.
Oh no, he got stuck. The Pango.
DNM, unfortunately, yeah, stuck by a cliff and then doesn't get to go up the stairs. Now he's being jumped on by this Slardar and Tusk, but he pops himself to high ground. So does the Slardar, lifted up as the shards gonna come out and block him in. Kisses land. DNM dead. Dota Sama has arrived though. So has Double King, but they don't have that hero to go in to catch and start the fight off.
Slardar even looking for a bit more. This is pretty wild to go in. Slardar has to be cautious about the Troll ulti still being up. But that's amazing.
And Lina also showed up to just kill Undying and then back to farming.
Yeah, it was an easy, you know, joining it with her farming route anyway. It was on the way, a little pit stop for her. And DP not far away from having the full Aghanim scan be sent out now after that creep wave. So now DP has a massive power spike. The Aghanim's complete with Witchblade. She's gonna attack pretty fast. She's gonna summon a bunch of ghosts when she does. This opens up pushing tier 2 towers, taking fights, or even going for objectives like Roche or the Tormentor in 2 minutes.
You know, we've had so many one-sided stomps, expected victories, forfeits, and stuff like that. My body hasn't like acclimatized to NA Dota yet. So I've literally just physically shifted to sit on my chair properly, realizing we're 20 minutes in, it's dead even in net worth and kills. This game is anybody's.
Yep.
You know, we've got a real competitive game on our hands, as we'll see the Tusk snowball to try and buy himself some time. But he's surrounded. 4 anchors coming with a Pango. DNM finds another kill.
He doesn't have a blink yet. That's why he was trying farm on that mid lane. So good pick by them to go in there and find him. They have very aggressive vision on the side of Radiant and playing towards it now. They're gonna try and siege up on the tier 2 tower. They saw Lina earlier in the jungle. Blink dagger ready.
Very good job not dying.
Yeah. Blink dagger ready on the Omni Knight though means that Lina has to be more careful than ever.
Well, they're all groping up to go through the twin gate. Have they seen the DP, or do they just feel like the troll is such a tasty kill? They're dangling Double King right in front of them.
A lot of heroes behind her. This could backfire.
They're arriving to back up this Death Prophet. Troll's going to walk up the high ground, as is the Omni Knight with the ulti going. They're tanky against the physical damage, trying to turn and fight into the DP. Double King, though, dropping low quickly, forced to ulti up as the Rolling Thunder, it whips. The shards block his path.
Lina is here.
Trying to come in here. Slardar sprinting to jump into the back, looking for the Troll Warlord. The mischance, though. They heal from the Purification, turning on this Slardar. Double King's alive. The snowball's not going to land either. DNM comes in to save him up. Omni Knight's on the run from this.
Oh, the light
Lord
strike.
Shredder, Snapfire, the tombstone's on the floor, and this massive connection stunning up the Snap and the DP. They throw the Laguna Blade and the stun on the Undying, but now the Lena's trapped and dead. A 5-man wipe as 4 anchors come in, save their teammates, turn and kill the enemy.
Wow, give it up for the Radiant supports right there. They won that fight so hard on their own. It was pretty lackluster start from the course. They blinked in, got silenced. Troll had to use a very defensive ulti, but 3-man Light Strike array, Tombstone on a nice high ground positioning. These Tombstone placements have been really good this fight. But look here, Slardar blinks in, his team not really with him yet. Sometimes when you're Slardar with Blink, you're so mobile that you play a bit too aggressive. His team just wasn't really able to follow up on this play. And now you see that Tombstone, that's a 3-man Light Strike array by Rubik onto everyone below the waterfall. They all tried to follow up the Slardar, but they were too late to do so. And now this gives them a massive advantage on Radiant. 6k lead, 7k lead, the first real big advantage in this game.
Then you're stuck in this channel, right? In the ravine. And the mountains on all sides, you know, there's archers and snipers looking down on you. What an awful spot to be in there, just trying to catch up to the Slardar.
Yeah.
Like how quickly the terrain advantage can change from where they're smoked on a high ground looking down at a troll to then being completely inverted.
Yeah, you know how they say that you shouldn't drink from a creek. You don't know if there's some animal dead up the creek. Well, they were the dead animals up the creek after that fight, man. They all got stuck underneath the crushing water.
Oh, this mountain water tastes so fresh and lovely.
And a bit like human.
There's a little funk to it. Yeah. Man, big fight for them. And 4 anchors now, 7,000 to the good. 7 kills ahead. And 7, a lucky number for some, as Rubik's going to blink away from the DP, who used Exo and Blink herself to jump into position, but not netting a kill. That's a pretty big loss, 2 minutes with no Exo.
Yeah. This Exo is just going to be farming jungle creeps, not really getting anything valuable done.
Unless they Roche.
Yeah.
Too late now, though,
I don't
isn't
think
it?
you can really blind Roche into Pangolti and Tombstone, though. It's so scary to do it.
Oh, I was just looking for like what the one possibility. Maybe they could get an objective, but
Yeah, of course.
even that is a possibility.
You try what you
And now
can.
knowing that now with the info that Exo's on cooldown, 4 anchors and Dota Sama straight across to the Roche pit.
Yeah, they can just,
Under dire vision though.
even with vision, I don't think they want to fight it. DP ulti is that important for them. If you don't have it and you go into a 5v5, I think they automatically lose. DP still, even with the items he has, revolves mainly about his ulti. And this is going to give a nice layer of safety for the troll. He has BKB just about to be completed. Aegis going to be picked up as well. And they're looking to catch bottom. Rubik gets silenced. Pango again, little pinball action. Yeah, has not had the cleanest jumps, but these clips.
He's had to deal with enemy shards and Rubik shards multiple times. It's kind of challenging for him. I've got a lift on the Snapfire though, so a good snipe there by Roseanne gets the kill. What's his name? YXMT, but upside down.
Yeah.
What is he, Australian?
I'm not sure, man. I assume his player cam should be upside down as well at this point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just hang like a bat from the ceiling and play.
Vagabond's gonna try and get himself into that next key item.
Yeah, he has it now. So BKB is complete on Slaughter. Credit to him. It's not easy to keep up the farm like he has done, but relying on that shard has been allowing him to farm quite fast. Slaughter shard is incredibly useful. But the outer towers have been removed, and now we have 4 anchors thinking about making moves for bigger objectives. DP with another ulti pop, and oh, the shard.
Oh, no.
Rubik blinks in willingly. Wants a bit of action. Yeah.
The off chance that you can steal Exorcism there is like huge.
Yeah, if he gets Exo, it's totally worth. In the end, he had 4 staff, so he felt pretty safe to just jump in.
It's wild. We're now entering a portion of the game where it feels like Radiant are invulnerable. Right? You've talked about this multi-BKB timing. They've got Pango, Omni, plus Troll BKB and Aegis. Finding a core kill here as the Dire team seems like an impossible task. And then support kills, you're into Undying. Rubik's playing from Fog. If 4 anchors just take a portion of the map, play these bits of terrain, play the staircases, play the northern jungle, that's very difficult for Dire to approach.
There's also that part where the Shivas is complete now, coming out for the Omni Knights, and I think it's going to be very hard for him to deal with this. Not only the anti-healing against DP, but also Slaughter can't auto-attack. He has no attack speed. Like he will definitely get messed up. Troll's just killing Snap. Almost got him.
Are they just going to take a lane of racks here?
I mean, they have Omni behind, and it's an Aegis Troll with BKB. I'm not sure what you do to him. He even has Aghanim Scepter to dispel any corrosive haze put him.
Yeah, I mean, you've glyphed, but you've lost your tier 3. Creep wave is still reasonably healthy. Melee racks just being clicked down. You're going to poke at this troll, but now you've been lifted up on Lina and a dive in straight towards her. Lina's getting blown up on a snowball save. Can we get her out of here? She's got no blink or anything, so stuck nonetheless. Now a Rolling Thunder onto the Snapfire in the back is going to catch up to her and take her down a notch. Oh, as quickly as that, Vagabond is back in, but I mean, diving for an attempted kill on an Aegis troll and losing your life for it as you're rooted up. Broken apart. Full set of racks going to die here. They can't go for more in the base because tier 2s exist. But that is a... Oh, wait, no. They're going tier 4s?
Yeah, they're going for more. I mean, there's no buyback on 2 cores. At least force the glyph. They're going to force the glyph, and now we'll see if they think about sticking around. They're going to back up, I think. I mean, that little move is so useful, because now next time you push a tier 2 tower, there's no way to delay that push, and it will make their move much faster. We can see a replay here. Lina did not have BKB yet, by the way, so she got lifted, chain stunned, and then Hurricane Bite herself, because what else can she do? But that only pushed her even deeper into the enemy. The fact that she went back for Crystallis before BKB as well, I do feel this BKB timing is so much later than we see from some other Linas make the concession, get those safety items early. Because Maelstrom plus Crystallis, like, yeah, you're doing crazy damage, but what if you get jumped?
Yeah, we see it right there. And this is, as we see everything, right? As casters, we've got this bird's eye view, we see items, we see quick buys. We kind of felt the Radiant were picking up the pace and getting ready to just go all in, hit critical mass. And off this Aegis, they've shown that they can be very explosive. I do jump on this troll with a tusk, but he's blown up just as quickly as he appeared on our screens. And now Slaughter, still trying to break this Aegis. Double King's fine. First life gone, but he'll pop back up with BKB and Blink ready, so he could blink away just like that if he wanted to.
Didn't layer any of their spells perfectly there on the respawn, so he just gets to safety.
They do jump the Rubik. Snowball, but then blink, off he goes, deeper and deeper. The Tusk is sent in the middle of 4 anchors. Lina and Death Prophet are considering entering this fight, but without the Tusk it's hard. And Slaughter's out of mana, out of resources. He's gonna, pop his wand and try and run away from this with DP coming in. A 2-man stun is good onto the Pango. They blow him up. Troll Wall in trouble as well. Tombstone save though. There we go. Big Fat B keeps Double King alive. Gets the BKB and ulti off now, and he'll swing in with the axes. Slow down Looper. Vagabond's in trouble. He's on the run, while Big Fat B is zoning the Lina out with Roseanne. The two supports going to work. They lose the Rubik though. Putting in all that hard work to die. But still a statement here from the Radiant.
That was such a clutch Undying shard there. Having that to save as well. It just feels impossible to kill the troll. With Omni and Undying, it's just layers of saves. You need to go on the backline. And again, the DP ulti popped so early, made it awkward for them to take the long fights. For a majority of the fights, they just got kited. Another lane falls as Troll adding up a basher in his inventory, coming out soon. Lina can poke him, but cannot bring him away.
Healed back up by the Omni. Yeah, off we go. Now we can farm through enemy ancients, take control of this area, which is already warded by 4 anchors, and then play 2 lanes. Play into mid, play into bot, and make this map hard to navigate as the Dire team, they're going to have their Lina jumped on again. Omni and Troll making life hard here as the Tusk has to snowball himself to buy some time. Dota Master has a BKB going, so it's Omni Knight perfectly safe to back up. Lupa wants to make a meal of this though, jumping in onto the Undying, trying to catch him up with the kisses, and the damage is good. Big Fat B down. DNM is in though with his Rolling Thunder crashing onto the Death Prophet. Lupa is tanky, getting cookied around, and DNM is circling, running circles around the Death Prophet, but dies to the damage burst, giving Lupa a double kill.
Still chasing. Trying to get more.
Undying. Punched up and taken out.
Slaughter's and BKB, by the way.
Very deep here as well. He's found Roseanne, Lupa, and Vagabond on the Rubik's tail. I don't think he can get out of here, even with the Omni Knight's help. Healing, repelling, but surrounded by ghosts.
And finally, Lupa gets to have the fight that he's been looking for. A fight where he can actually just chase onto people and deal some damage and not just get kited entirely. It did look a little bit risky again with the ulti pop. I think Radiant willingly turned and went into him. I felt like they could have kited him and just ran away again. But they decided to stay, take the fight, and DP ulti is still a tremendous powerhouse in these team fights.
What a fun game.
Yeah, you can see there.
That swing, 5k swing.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of gold, and that's only the initial gold. Then you have the aftermath, being able to get out, get on the map, get some neutral items for yourself, shove out lanes. So definitely well needed for Dire. They're 2 racks down, but still have the potential to turn this game around. They have fantastic heroes to scale into late game. And it's still getting a bit scary though when Double King gets closer to this blink bash. He's gonna blink an ulti onto the troll, onto the Tusk.
Menace put in his place. Our Troll making a run down his bottom lane now. You want to try and open up a bit of space for that next Roshan. Potentially up now.
Yeah, the Rosh is up, gets pinged out, and they will very, very quickly take it down. Troll gets spotted walking over there. We might see a move from Dire, grouping up.
We're coming in. We're coming in.
DP pops
DP straight up Exo to jump into the pit. And they de-warded on the way here, but there's been a lot of these moves where Lupa just goes for it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's really unfortunate. I feel like they have not had the best coordination with actually chain stunning someone and grabbing them. They have a lot of stunts in their team, but every time I see a DP ulti get popped, it's not really in tandem with Slardar saying, I can jump someone right now. So it's like DP blinking in with ulti ready and silencing people, and then they just walk away. And there's going to be another Rosh Aegis, and with DP ulti on cooldown, definitely a chance for Radiant to just immediately push and look to end the game.
Yeah, I mean, now all it takes is one fight, right?
Yeah.
A kill or two, a buyback spent, a dieback, whatever it might be. Killing Lupa off here already a pretty big deal. If they're going to take the Death Prophet down with no buyback on her and no ulti on her, you know, she's gone for all intents and purposes.
Well, the Slaughter is doing a good job cutting next creep wave, but there's still going to be that first wave, and how do you bring it down? Actually, it's going to be Snapfire. I think he was trying to set up to Mortimer kisses the creep wave. I think he was, you know, looking for an angle to kill next wave, but
Might have been.
they have glyphs, so they could try and bring it down that way. With 3 heroes tanking though, the wave wouldn't really die here.
And they've got banner as well. So they could actually just banner the kisses, right?
Yeah, they could. Rubik is ready.
Well, they're on high ground. We banner now, going up to this last tier 3 and last set of barracks. They see the Tusk on the right-hand side as well. DNM rolls in and a blink from Troll forces the snowball quickly from Tusk, and the dive deeper from Dota Sama, looking for the slaughter and Lina in the back. Tusk still being focused by DNM. A few more touches will take him down. As this Omni Knight 1v2 mano a mano, destroying this Lina and Slaughter on his own, pushing him back to Fountain, but now he's going to feel the pain. The kisses and the long-range artillery from Snap and Lina bring the Omni down. Undying follows as Double King looks at these barracks and wonders where the rest of his team has gone. I want to kill buildings here, boys. Let's get mega creep, shall we?
2 down. Lina is back here. She has Daedalus. She hits really hard. Can they set up for her?
Slaughter jumps in with a stun, but there's no chain stunning. The flag can be dealt with now. Or maybe just looking for these heroes to blow them up, as Pango helped out by the Yule Scepters from the Rubik, keeping the Slaughter at arm's reach and then swashbuckling back to safety.
Good saves there coming in from Roseanne, having the Force Staff, the Yule Scepter, just controlling and making sure that not more heroes die. They did open up the base at least. Didn't really finish up the job, but maybe a little bit too much fountain diving going on. You can tank for quite a while, but eventually Omni Knight's protection runs out. That's why he's queuing up the refresher. He wants it to last twice as long.
That's all we need. Just end the game with a refresher. Well, Troll is hunting.
He's
not going to find anyone out here.
He's got the Blink Abyssal now, so it's not going to be easy to get away from him. And Tormentor is waiting up top. Might see Troll and Pango just go and take it.
We did get a little glimpse into how much damage Lina can do, though.
Yeah.
Now, if she's given an opportunity with Slaughter Blink Stun, DP making noise, all these frontline heroes, right, opening a scenario for her to do damage, there's the possibility that she can kill off some cores quickly enough.
Yeah, Slaughter gonna run away. Is staying safe, as there was actually a smoke attempt at the same time from Radiant, so nobody wants to TP back to deal with a Slaughter. But no, you're right. The positioning has to be right so that Lina is allowed to stand and auto attack. They could play under their own wards. DNM gets revealed. The smoke breaks.
Yeah, Lina is like that little StarCraft 2 Protoss tower rush business. You know, you've got to sneak your units in there first to build it. You can't just throw her in. And
gotta get some pylons going.
You've got to build the pylons and then you build the towers.
Pango didn't get vision in time, else maybe he could have bashed her there with the W. Didn't quite have the Q ready, but Lina gets to safety.
Slaughter might not be so lucky. He's being run at by a Troll and a Rubik, TPing home. Gets it back to safety.
Chasing ghosts, though. They're not connecting on anyone. This is giving time for them to finish up some key items. Lina only 100 gold away from the Satanic. And Nullifier is complete on the Slaughter. Not a bad item to have. Obviously against the Omni Knight, it's really nice against this ulti, but more often than not there's going to be a repel first or a BKB first, and then you can't get rid of the ulti again. Do you see the Troll?
Yule Scepters and stuff like that, though.
Aegis in 15 seconds. Oh my god. If Aegis was 15 seconds earlier, I think they would insta-jump there, get the kill.
The window is so tight.
They do have great vision, though. He's walking up with Aegis timing out. This is the goal time.
They see him. They know exactly what to do. They jump Double King down to half HP. Can't even battle trance to save his life while the Undying also going to fall to the kisses. Whew. That lane ward.
Yeah, that lane ward got them 2 massive kills right there. Look at the amount of gold they got from it. And yeah, I don't, think there's anything wrong with them immediately just exoing, get all the spells going for that. I was a little bit worried when Slaughter jumped to Undying that the Troll was going to get his BKB or his ulti out, but they had the damage.
Unable to get any real big objectives, though. It's always a sad story when you're doing this kind of move on your side of the river. But they will push out lanes and at least set the map up for another potential move later on. And that's a big challenge now, right? When you've got super creeps top and mid, it's a non-stop. If you're a gardener, you know, you're not a Dota player anymore. You're coming out pruning all these weeds and hedges and bushes. All the little radiant creeps are just nasty little plants growing in your dark, desolate garden.
My dark, desolate garden. It sounds like real life, man.
You're the dire team. You know, you want pumpkins growing and brambles.
Yeah, some Halloween theme.
Yeah. What else is a Halloween plant?
A skeleton.
Thorny stuff. Skeletons. You say skeleton?
Yes. They're plants. They just grow in, you know, a fleshy form first.
Yeah. Okay. Where are the roots?
Not sure. Not sure. I don't know plants
that well. Friends and family.
I don't know if it's obvious, guys. I don't know plants that well. Okay. I do know Dota though. We have the level 25 Refresher Omni Knight ready to jump the starter. No chain stun. He will maybe get out as the Pango doesn't have any bash anymore. That's a bit
too far away for the Abyssal.
A window opening up for them.
Dire have the high ground over here, but they don't have the numbers. Did Troll just blink into the middle of them?
Yeah. Feeling confident.
He sends the rest of them scattering and just kills the Snapfire.
Well, they were on the back foot after the initial Slardar BKB force, so he smelled weakness, he pounced on it. And sometimes when you troll, it's better to jump the enemy than you getting jumped, since he doesn't have 25 talent yet, doesn't have the strongest spell yet.
It's a good job by the Slardar and DP though. Top and mid both pushing in across the river onto the Radiant side.
But they have
with the Dire having one lane of barracks to go. Yeah, it's one lane to attack, one lane to go in. Troll Warlord, even without BKB or Aegis, still pretty happy to go in here, while the Lina jumped on by the Pango, forced the BKB early, turning to try to get damage in, but his Omni has ulti. So now Lina's BKB is going to wear out. Tombstone in the back end is protecting the rest of them from the Slardar on a DP jump, and Troll just opens up. Deathprop is getting shredded here. The Snowball comes in, tries to save her up. She's rooted and finally dead. Tusk now, is that a buyback out of him and the Lina? Dieback on Tusk. Lina's in trouble. She's trying to push damage onto this Omni Knight, but he's losing your barracks. Big Fat B, the Blade Mail return. If they get another jump on this Lina, it could be lights out. Light Strike array from Roseanne, and there's a jump for the Troll. They get the connection. She's gone for 2 minutes. Carrie's dead. 4 heroes gone. 1 remains on our screen. The Snapfire's going to fall immediately. And 4 anchors with Dota Summer. They're looking at this tier 4 tower now and potentially just game 1.
Fantastic play by them overall, as we have a disconnect here, but yeah, the players.
Oh yeah.
The players are done. They're calling it GG. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do anymore. That was a strange game to witness because they got off such a strong start on Dire, but then they had several moments where they tried to get a fight going, didn't manage to have enough lockdown and catch, which is almost a bit surprising with Slardar, Tusk on their team.
It's like one of those things, right? You take a target away from Necro, he's like, oh, okay, I didn't really care about the Medusa. I'm going to be racking up these stacks by killing off, you know, your Magnus and your Axe over and over again with the Reaper's sides. 1-man army Axe, triple ring of protection. Big man on campus.
Yeah, all the armor. I mean, it's probably a good choice in this lane. I don't normally think that this is the best build, but you're going against what looks to be a Safelink Dawnbreaker plus Tusk. I mean, you know it's so much physical damage coming in, so this is pretty high value.
I don't think I've seen this in a pro game, a triple ring protection, 1-man army Axe.
Yeah,
We've seen a fair amount of Axe recently, but
yeah, it's been a lot of Vanguard rushes, right? We saw Seal play it a whole lot. We saw some other people playing it, and usually it's the Vanguard rush. But this is not really a usual game. The lane is a little bit peculiar, so this might be their correct approach. And if you get to triple, this also is usually the build to skip Vanguard altogether, by the way. So you go Blade Mail Rush after this, or Face Boots into Blade Mail after this. And that's very, very high armor, strong in lane. Also does make your Battle Hunger slightly stronger, right? Every bit of armor does effectively increase the damage of your Battle Hunger. So there's always something.
Is this a case of him maybe lane dragging and cutting waves and stuff like that as well?
They very well might need to do that. That's going to be the job of the Magnus, though, who does have Windlace already, so kind of signifying he might be interested in doing it. A good hero against it though is Tusk. You can just throw ice shards and stop the pull for a while, and then it takes so long, you don't connect it as you should, and everything kind of shifts.
Well, some interesting techers. We'll see if it works out for them.
30 seconds to battle.
And 4 anchors sat on their own side of the river, waiting to see who comes up any of these staircases. Unlikely that someone's going to show their face. Just sit here and wait.
Yeah, instead it's just going to be ward blocking the camp and put wards to spot any couriers coming in or next creep wave. Magnus looking for the right spot. Gonna be pretty far to the left.
The battle begins.
Yeah, gets himself that deep bit of vision. Bounty runes going 2 for 2, though it looks like.
Yeah, fair trade. Magnus is set up to try and body block the first creep wave, so he can at least make sure the first creep wave bounces, get his axe in a favorable position. Don't need to do too much blocking, just a little bit. And the axe, meanwhile, is ready to stop the Dawnbreaker from blocking on their other side.
And Tusk already getting some free damage in on that Magnus. Yeah, Double King trying to block the wave, but it's going to reach the tower. But like you said, that'll shove back out across towards the dire side of the map.
Looking
Mid lane,
at...
Pango against Phoenix.
That is not a common matchup, but Phoenix generally is one of those heroes who can absolutely demolish heroes like Pango. Some mid heroes can get really destroyed, especially if they need to go close, since the burn coming out from the dying light is just so painful. He still has to kind of toe the line though. If he gets too low HP on Phoenix, Phoenix is a super low armor hero, and Pango is all physical damage, so it can backfire.
Yeah, you can take some serious damage. It's just one of those funny things, right? That started as like a TA counter solely. This core Phoenix off lane, then the mid lane Phoenix pops up, and then all of a sudden, wait, we can play this mid Phoenix against multiple heroes. There's lots of things that we can fit him into.
Yeah,
I did see his 15 minutes of fame a few months back.
Yeah, very true. Phoenix has been played a fair bit mid, and it's been different builds as well. We've seen some Vessel rushes ever since that was buffed. Before that was a whole lot of Orchid rush or Shiva's rush. Ooh, big damage onto the Magnus. Gets chain stunned. The level 2. He didn't want to skewer the Dawnbreaker with him, so he stopped it. Up top though, they get a kill.
Shadow Shaman rolling high on his damage there. Big hits into Roseanne, who tried to fairy fire and run away.
Yeah, gets the clicks, and also going to be power denying a little bit together with the Medusa here, perhaps. Looking to deal some damage back to the Necro.
Shackles and Snake are going to be stopped in their tracks by the dead shot, but Dota Sama already burning through the majority of his regen, needs the tangos to be handed over. While in the mid lane, the Phoenix did drop low, but the skewer on the tower puts DNM in a tough spot. The roaming Magnus comes into play.
That's always one of those scary things as a mid player when you don't really realize that someone died on a side lane and then they just TP in and go. Actually, Medusa?
Medusa's dying. Was that a Lotus or a Wand? Some pretty hefty heals, whatever it was, takes her back up to a healthy state.
Radiant's middle tower
It's only minute 2,
It's a pretty
Gareth.
full wand.
Yeah, big wand coming
Yeah,
in.
you're right.
But she will
Feels like it's
definitely lift the
later. Already got a bit of action.
Now the Axe taking quite a bit of a beating going up against these heroes. Looks like he's going to be the one going for the urn. Interesting choice. As he will fight up against the Tusk, but Dawnbreaker already running over. Tusk is completely alone. Magnus is coming over, but pretty far away.
Who said you could use our pool? What are you doing in our back garden? What are you doing?
Oh no.
Snowball's there, gonna turn on his axe. Tag team, and this Starbreaker whacks them down. They get the Lotus, and this dire bottom lane, it's just been shredded up.
Just a bit of miscommunication there as well. The skewer and the call at the same time, and then the snowball dodge on top of it as well anyway.
That was a Lotus.
Bit of more than you could chew on the axe.
Oh, Magnus skewering 2 people back in, but they'll quickly pummel him down. And Lupa's axe trying to get some damage on this Tusk. Not gonna be able to get a kill or anything, but at least he's back in the lane last hitting. Top lane again. Every time we peer up here, it's danger, death, destruction. Shadow Shaman this time, gonna feel the pain. Trying to hide in the trees as a little chicken, but Dota Sama's there to clear it up.
Yeah, gets taken down, and lane is looking pretty strong so far for the Necro and the Murta. And this is also what I feared, that these side lanes would be difficult for Dire. said that they are pretty favoring the Radiant. Their draft is stronger for laning stage. Mid lane, however, is where they maybe have an advantage with the Phoenix against the Pango.
Oh, Mango, even more heals and sustain put into this Medusa's lane. Trying to keep her as healthy as possible while Dota Sama and Roseanne diving. But they don't realize that Phoenix is arriving. Shackles and now the fiery burn damage takes them low and should finish them off with Vagabond getting a double kill.
Very nice TP there. Hyper aggressive play from Radiant and gets punished appropriately by the Phoenix coming in. That definitely helps offset the balance on the lane.
It's just funny having like what 150 HP mid lane hero TPing to aggressively make a move, right? But the lower this Phoenix is, the more damage that comes.
The Dying Light is main source of damage output, so a lot of time he is gonna stay low. DNM has to be quite. Oh, he takes the tower hits. You're not level 6 yet. What are you doing?
Oh my god! Trading 1 for 1, but DNM gets the kill first.
Yeah, DNM is gonna be very happy with that. He gets the kill first, gets the experience. Phoenix, I mean, a bold play, but you can't slow the attack speed of the tower, and tower just shot him down.
Now Roseanne's made a move, places a ward right under the nose of this Magnus and Axe. And now has to swing back towards mid. Dead even in kills and net worth, but it's felt a bit cleaner from 4 anchors so far in this game.
You know what I think was the difference maker there on Phoenix diving in? The Pango had a blood grenade and threw it at the Phoenix. So I think he calculated that he would get the kill in time before tower hits, but the blood grenade brought that little bit of extra damage in.
Oh, the difference maker. The feather on the scales, or the thumb on the scales in this case. Pango gonna roll in. He doesn't get the illusion rune, but he might just get a kill here with a dead shot. Not landing on Magnus. He skewers to high ground. They aim for the Phoenix now instead. Stuck in the calling for a long time. Can't cast any spells.
And doesn't get his level 6 as well in time, so that dive earlier under the tower really coming back to haunt him now as the double support comes in mid, pushing for
Double
the
king.
tower.
Called up by the Axe, threw out his hammer. Pretty low on resources, but might be able to turn and fight back into this Axe. Loses the battle hunger and sticks back up. An awkward fight down there, though. Still waiting for the Solar Guardian to come into play. The Phoenix is still level 5 in the mid lane. Silenced by the calling. Dives off cooldown, so could dive forward. Looking for more damage and thankful to not be punished.
He didn't get level 6 because there were 3 heroes sharing the experience. Now he gets level 6 finally. Otherwise he could maybe have dove in, dropped the egg, but didn't have to expend it at least. Bottom lane looks so gankable still. Both these teams sitting on really low HP. The Dawnbreaker. Does she have any resources sent out? No, not even.
And that's kind of left this Necro top in a 1v1 against Medusa, both of them farming.
Yeah, it's a farm trade that Medusa's very happy with. She has easy access to her Ancients as well once she gets a little bit of damage from the Yasha. Necro, of course, not going to be too sad in the matchup. It's not like he's getting shut down, but Medusa, definitely the hero I would rather have free farming in this matchup.
Yeah. And have we decided who's buying Radiance? You said it was more likely Necro, right?
Yeah, I think so. The Dawnbreaker already has a bunch of items to queue up. The Echo Saber,
Okay.
Desolator, BKB. He wants to be a physical smacker.
That's fair enough. I'm getting punched around a bit by this Axe, though.
I'm punched around, but can take a punch if it's just Axe, no other hero nearby. Keep spamming the battle hunger on her, but she's doing alright.
And then a lot of focus continues in that mid lane. But minute 8 hits. And now the transition from mid down to bot as Vagabond picked up an arcane rune, I believe. Looking to put it to use.
Oh, they might just
Maybe
get him.
they can connect with Double King. Dive over the top of this Dawnbreaker. Hex and Shackle should come. And that damage from the Phoenix, more than enough to take this carry out.
Oh, Axe even claims the last hit over there with this battle hunger coming in.
Well, dead shot up top misses. Phoenix TPing up top now to try and force this Radiant team to run away. It looks like they'll succeed in that.
Phoenix still hanging around though. Wants to use the ulti. Has dive. Not quite in position to catch him though. Now Pango and Tusk looking for a turnaround.
Yeah, straight onto this Phoenix. Dive in and kill him off. A Reaper Scythe over the top as well. That is one of the big worries. Phoenix wants to be playing at low HP, kind of like a Huskar almost. And this Necro is in a prime position to punish that kind of style.
Yeah, he's very aggressive, the mid player of Slayers. He's just running at people like a rabid dog. He's just chasing kills, and sometimes it can backfire.
Another attempt bottom onto Double King. Shadow Shaman this time arriving to fight alongside the Axe. The Rainbow TPs are here. So Shards into Snowball, turns around on the Menace Shadow Shaman, calling place down, but they need a little more forward-thinking movement here. I'll try out with a hammer and Starbreaker, but in comes Phoenix now to turn back on Double King with a dunk out of Lupa. They've finished off the Dawnbreaker. Tusk trying to escape, but he's skewered across to the right-hand side as well. And chase onto Roseanne now. Axe. Trailing.
I mean, that's
right
a lot of slow.
behind her.
He's gonna have to try to deny neutrals? No, not even. The Urn working out for this Axe, getting quite a few kills going. Fight looked like it was gonna go pretty bad, but ultimately they turn around and get a lot of kills with it.
Well, they definitely know how to make this early game very competitive and entertaining. 8 kills, 9 kills, dead even in net worth. And DNM just trying to stay it out in this mid lane with that shield rune.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine for now, but they also are eyeing up a push. Sadly, don't have level 6 yet on the Shadow Shaman, so no way to drop ward and just push. It is Blink on Necro, by the way. He wants to join as the Reaper.
And they've got the Solar Guardian straight onto this Axe. 3-man Shockwave, but the Snowball's there to turn around and Reaper Scythe down Lupa. Magnus going to join him in the grave as well. 2 stacks up now on this Necro.
This is what they did as well against the Shopify, right? It's the same kind of build. The rushed Blink Dagger, and then look for fighting, and then he's probably gonna go back for the Radiance next.
I just play forward, play aggressive. Jump from lane to lane. Allows you to play so much nicer with your Tusk and Pango as well, who are very mobile heroes.
Yeah, I mean, while the tier 1 towers are up, it's really nice to have your Blink Dagger ready, because then you can TP in and reinforce those towers and kind of defend them. Later on, you have less TP points, the Blink Dagger loses some value. Rasta sidesteps the Q, but...
And stuck outside the Roche pit. A little chicken is pummeled by Double King.
Yeah, just 2 level 5 supports. Can't really fight into 3 heroes alone.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And this is where the game started to become a little more challenging for the Slayers in game 1. You know, transitioning out of laning stage, things are breaking down. Tier 1s are falling, the map is opening up. Trying to find these key moments to make very important decisions of where to play from, where to gank into. It can be difficult.
Yeah.
So it's nice already to see that they've got like vision placed bottom right corner. Tier 1 tower could be the next objective for them to take. They've got some stuff they can kind of go through the motions and systematically just take the bottom part of the map.
Yeah, they're chasing Double King, can get the Hex on him. Gonna hold him in place. TP is coming in, but pretty late. He should be dropping.
Yeah, skewer this Dawnbreaker back in and maybe dunk her down, but she's turned. With a Celestial Hammer and Starbreaker, she stays alive, gets good damage back onto Shadow Shaman. The Reaper Scythe not quite enough to finish the Axe immediately, but they get the kill regardless. While Magnus, Shockwave, 2-man RP into the Supernova and the damage from Medusa. They're trying to root up and kill them off, but there's a ton of healing coming out of this 4-anchor side. Double King down into the little hot tub. Sauna time for the Dawnbreaker to try and TP home, and she's going to be successful. Dota Sama in the meantime, picking up the Menace Shadow Shaman. Snowball fall from Big Fat B. Buyback from the Magnus. They want to turn this and get something, but in comes DNM. The Pango's arrived on the scene of the crime, and as Medusa's in trouble, out of mana completely. Medusa, oh, she's gonna get taken down by this Necro and Pango right on her head. A little bit more. Dota Sama wants it. In we go with the Death Pulse to take her down. And the Phoenix. Oh my god, there's no spells left. 21 charges though. 21. Can we stay alive, Phoenix? To buy time. Dota Sama very low, but he's stepping away from it. Can't finish the job, and he's gonna get taken down himself.
Oh, swing and a miss there for Pango with the Swashbuckle. Doesn't connect. Meanwhile, mid tower pushing on Dawnbreaker. Menace is gonna go on him a little bit, but doesn't actually have any backup. There's too much action going down bottom. They actually find the Phoenix in the end. Stuck around.
Phoenix still die.
Stuck around a little bit too long. And Pango goes behind.
Insane. Now D&M's trying to back up from this Looper axe, but with no blink and no gap close, not a great way to get on top of this Pango, who's just rolling, crashing, swashing back to pick up an Invis rune and run away. Big Fat B in the meantime does get caught out though with Serpent Wards and Control.
Very low resource on some of them as well. This Magnus saving for the Blink Dagger without even a magic stick. I think when you have this active of a game, you kind of beat yourself up afterwards that you didn't buy a magic stick. So many spells cast. He kind of wishes he had mana. He's going to have to just walk back to base.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
In this rune, probably not going to find too much, but they do have Necro ulti. They're thinking about the axe. Not an easy man to burst.
But there it is though, right? That transition from lane stage to minute 15, a couple of good fights for the Radiant, 4 anchors cement their position on the map, force the Dire to like buy back, react, play around this bottom tier 1, which is not a valuable place for them to be in. And most importantly, Radiant now get to their next round of items with all this fighting and killing.
Yeah, I think it's very true. Their post laning stage moves on 4 anchors have been a little bit sharper, and that's also part of the laning stage, right? Cracking those tier 1 towers is a big part of laning stage. Going and opening up the enemy safe lane, which didn't happen for Dire. They never made that big concentrated effort of taking bottom tower, partly because they got a late Rasta level 6, so they didn't have the wards. But also just didn't really concentrate their efforts towards that objective.
And now the speed picks up even more for 4 anchors. Deep Observer Ward, they're hunting for this Medusa. They might just be able to catch up onto her as well with a good snowball, swashbuckle in. Stone Gaze comes out, but it's Solar Guardian with the shards have blocked her in place, and the damage comes so quickly now with the mana gone. A little heal there to top her up, but surrounded on all sides. They'll drop the Serpent Wards and even dive forward looking for a cross kill on the Tusk. Vagabond should have that at the very least. No? The Soulburn doesn't finish him. He's TPing home. They need the Magnus Shockwave to take him down.
Well, they get him in the end, but mission accomplished for Team Radiant. They got in. Hitman job was successful. They brought down the Medusa, slowing down her farm a little bit. Meanwhile, Double King can just kind of hover over here and farm some Ancients. Lupa is pinging, saying that he wants to go onto the Necro down bottom, but he doesn't have anyone nearby.
Who's he pinging for? Himself?
Yeah, I think he just wants to kill. You know, you don't have the Dawnbreaker, sadly.
Look over here, guys. I'm going on the Necro. Look what I'm doing, guys.
Hey, man,
Oh, now the Magnus is TPing. They'll get another blink call in. Skewer under tower. Maybe it was all an elaborate bait. As Dota Sama's put under a tier 1.
RP.
Being kited around a bit with Medusa arriving. Maybe a volley to come into play. And RP will be there as the Reaper Scythe isn't quite enough to do the job on the axe. And Dota Sama's dead.
At least, you know, the ping served its purpose. In the end, people knew what he was doing down there, and they paid attention, came down there. Radiant still want to take the fight, though.
You were the one saying comms have got to be, 2-3 seconds ahead of schedule. He was doing it a calendar day ahead of schedule.
two or 3 days, yeah, very nice. 2 or 3 business days ahead. Guys,
He made sure his team knew what was up.
Phoenix soon has the Orchid here, and even without it, Tusk is in trouble. Shard blocks himself, sadly. Didn't do the high ground trick to slip away.
Nah, he looks pretty dead.
You know, it's fun to watch the most comfortable Tusk players there are in the world. Like, they just walk with such confidence, always knowing they can immediately push themselves to high ground. I think maybe he could have done that trick to get to the high ground below him instead. But it takes a bit of practice to actually be used to doing it.
Yeah, you got to know where to click. Another go here on the Necro. Solar Guardian's going to be countered by the Skewer play, and they've actually pulled him far enough away to blow up the Necro that now Double King is a bit isolated. Supernova's well placed. Rolling Thunder's going to crash in, but it's a defensive one here from 4 anchors just to try and disengage because this Looper axe jumping in and attempting to call people, but maybe he's going to step too far. Turn around from Double King with a Starbreaker. Stone Gaze, though, now is return fire. The whole back 4 anchors. This Medusa well poised to stand and hit. Needs some backup, though, as her mana is depleted by Double King. Another Celestial Hammer in and the Snowball forward. They finish the Medusa off. Now a frantic scramble by the Slayers to try and run away.
Oh, that. I mean, I can understand it, man. They were behind in game number 1. Now they finally get some momentum. They want to capitalize and get the most possible. But diving behind that tier 1 mid, going in under a tier 2, really risky stuff for them. In the end, they kind of throw away the advantage they just built in last 2 minutes.
God, it's rough, isn't it? Just those little moments. We're praising them for their comms, praising them for this, picking up the pace, getting things going, and then they just get too hungry. Their eyes too big for their stomachs.
It's a common thing. That's a syndrome that most of us Dota players have. We all want too much.
I was gonna say the save your buddy syndrome, and then this is the flip side of the same coin, right?
Eat your enemy.
Kill your enemy syndrome.
When you want too much. Also, a few of the jumps were a little bit off the mark there. The Magnus didn't get skewer back, but this time he will. Into an Orchid on the mid lane. Tusk gets pulled back and might be able to stay alive a little bit longer, but no, doesn't even snowball.
Well, they get the shards on Shadow Shaman with the calling, so at least they get a trade and a Reaper's Scythe. Make sure that Dota Sama gets paid for his contribution.
Very nice. They turn it into something. Necro ulti on cooldown. Slightly exploitable window for them. RP available. RP on
There
one.
it is. Jump the Pango and the Necro. There were 2 caught up inside that, it looks like, but the Solar Guardian's there to heal them, keep them safe. And the Magnus, the one to pay the price.
Just difficult to take the fight. Even though you have RP, still was 10 seconds cooldown on the Phoenix ulti. And now they're holding the axe in place, or attempting to do so. Backup's coming.
Not plenty of it. And comes the Rolling Thunder. And Dota Sama wishing he had another Reaper Scythe here.
And as 2 heroes TP down bottom, reacting to this, they now have to just run away as well. And they're going to run away into a ward, giving even more information away to Radiant. We're starting to run away with this.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Dawnbreaker now with the Deso and Echo Saber. Pushing powers pretty fast.
Oh, it sure is.
Dire's
Roseanne with his Rod of Atos looking for anyone lurking in the shadows. A quick catch can turn into a quick kill. With these blink daggers, the maneuverability that 4 Anchors has is pretty insane. So they're able to play pretty wide now, get across the map, start things off with a Necro, breaking vision, giving information, then you're just long-range poking at the Shadow Shaman. But you have committed the Necro very deep there, and he gets skewered back and killed, but this Supernova, well, they can't finish it off. It's on the low ground, so the Pango and the Muerto weren't able to come in, and this 2-man call dunks him down. Looper comes in, finds some massive kills, as Big Fat B is going to get pummeled.
Whew. That fight turned around hard, man. I did not expect that they would be able to burst the Necro after he got the kill on Shadow Shaman, but the damage was there. The skewer into the cliff as well. Managed to burst him. I think if he didn't skewer him over trees and cliffs, the Necro turns that fight around with W. Yeah, he would have been fine.
Yeah, there were so many trees and cliffs here, from this high ground all the way to the other high ground.
Yeah, like the bursts coming in from the Magnus Skewer Shockwave combo was higher than I expected. Right there, the Orchid tick as well was in the middle of the Skewer, so I guess that added to it.
And back in live, we've seen Double King die. Killed off by Looper, who's racking up tons of these Coat of Blood stacks. And this game, I don't know, like a runaway train going one way, then the other, doesn't know what direction it's going on the tracks. First we're feeling like, oh, it's comfortable for 4 Anchors now. Then they overstep. They allow Slayers to get some massive team fight, rack up some kills. Then back the other way again. They're back the other way now. I mean, a fight around Roshan has got to be imminent.
Yeah, first they're going for Tormentor themselves on Dire, but that might open up the possibility for a Roche play with Dawn respawn. I think they should be back in time though. I saw Radiant kind of ping it out, expecting that it would be Dire going for the Roche. They will just get themselves this shard over on the Shadow Shaman.
It's approaching 30 degrees in my studio. Getting even hotter in this lobby as the Phoenix is sliced down in that middle lane. And now the hunt. Can they find more? Bonus kills galore with the inhibit out of that diffuser blade. DNM slows the Magnus.
Still wants to fight.
Can't go. And Axe, where is he? Getting jumped on by a Solar Guardian and 4 members of 4 Anchors. They ignore the Axe though. They say no dip and bail on Lupo. We'll go deeper. Find the supports. Pummel them into the ground. No Shadow Shaman or Magnus, so that means no RP and no safety for this Medusa. Axe is killed by Dota Sama. Medusa's run back to her high ground, tail between her legs. I don't know. She's not got any lugs. I don't know where she puts her tail. She puts her tail back in the fountain where it belongs.
There we go.
And 4 anchors are looking at tier 2s now.
An unfortunate choice as well, I think, trying to take the fight when your mid player is dead. And in particular for Dire, I think Phoenix is instrumental in these fights. The fights that have been going well has been Phoenix doing a ton of damage and having a big impact. So choosing to take the fight when he's already out, I think that was a little bit too risky. Even though this game has been swingy, you know, sometimes you have to have patience.
Oh, it's a kid's playground in here.
It is.
Swings and roundabouts everywhere. But we do have this key moment upcoming. BKBs, right?
Yep.
Radiant team are nearing double BKB, Necro and Dawnbreaker.
Exactly. And then the fake BKB of Pango rolling. So
Yeah.
the thing I always talk about, having triple magic or debuff immunity heroes, very hard to go on any of them. Whereas you're not going to see the same on Dire. Yes, you have the Shiva's Orchid complete, which is strong in its own right. They're going to try and burst the Pango with it.
Yeah, just try and blink RP into Shackles with a snowball. DNM still dead. At least a turnaround potential though, as they'll kill off the Shadow Shaman. A Phoenix Supernova, can they focus it and kill it? A few more hits would have done the job, but Vagabond's going to come back full resources, dive in, then dive out, skewer to the right-hand side on double kings. The Roshan, he comes in and throws the Phoenix away at 1 HP, but Dota Sama's there. Pick up the pieces, the scraps on the floor. Chicken wings galore for 4 anchors as a dead shot snipes the Magnus out on his way out.
Roche trying to be a buddy there. He's like, I'll help you. I'll keep you in the qualifiers. Throws him onto the high ground, but not enough. The blink daggers, so much mobility. Shard on Necro, blink, snowball. Plenty of ways to dive after people.
Just imagine, you know, get down, Mr. President. Your president is being assassinated, but a massive, you know, jungle troll comes out of the forest and picks your president and launches him a football field away.
That's the bodyguard I want.
That's the Secret Service right there. Dota Sama's going to get called up next to a bunch of croakers. And goes Ethereal, though, as the Rod of Atos BKB'd off, and they'll surround the Necro, but the Solar Guardian, BKB of his own. Dota Sama very tanky, healing up, still has 12 wand, but he didn't get to use it. Gets dunked by the axe before the wand could be used. Still though, with the Tusk arriving and this Muerta pumping damage, Lupa's about to fall.
yes,
The double kill, Dawnbreaker's dead to the axe. How is Axe still alive? They've got roots now on the Muerta and Lupa. What?
Massive, dude. He got healed by the Phoenix, turning around the corner, scaring off the support, and then as he runs right by the Dawnbreaker, he just says hello with an axe dunk, as Dawnbreaker wasn't high enough HP to bring down the axe. And he's getting to a serious point, you know, 10.5 harvested armor, get that blade mail finally, which he skipped to go for the Spirit Vessel, plus the Blink and BKB. I think it all makes a lot of sense against the healing matchup he's playing. But now finally having the blade mail, that's going to be a nice extra bit of damage return for him as well.
What's he got? He had a dormant curia, right?
I got the GD.
Dormant GD pollen bag.
At 15.6% of their max health total. It is over 12 seconds, so I mean, it is pretty slow, but these fights are kind of extended. If you pop that onto Necro, I mean, that's a lot of damage.
I'm kind of in shock that the Dire are back in the lead again.
Yeah.
I guess now net worth lead is kind of meaningless.
It's kind of whatever at this stage. It's all about initiation and which team decides to take a favorable fight. Also worth mentioning, the axe is basically turning off all the healing now, close to it, with Spear Vessel and the GD Poland. I mean, you're looking at a massive amount of heal reduction.
That's super handy. Radiant currently sees the Medusa farming ancients. I don't know what other information they've got, but Magnus and Shadow Shaman are smoked up in a position to break the Radiant smoke in that mid lane. Phoenix is the one to get jumped on though. Half HP, Reaper's Scythe, chain stunned and killed. And DNM's gonna roll deeper, but won't find any stragglers just yet. But they still have that deep vision. They saw the exit path, the trajectory of the Medusa. Didn't go up north, went off to the east. And that's what the Tusk is signaling now. They've smoked themselves up to try and disengage, but the net is closing in around them.
Didn't want to fight without the Phoenix this time. Don't want to make the same mistake that they made before. Makes a lot of sense. So I'm trying to just buy time. Axe is telling them I don't want to TP over there. Just chill. Still kind of fine for them. They lost their Phoenix, but no big objective immediately falling. in fact hold on to their own wisdom rune as well. Oh, getting that.
Classic Dawnbreaker move. Oh, my team is all bottom. That's not where I belong.
Yep.
I should be on the opposite side of the map.
Be somewhere else, farm some jungle, stay off the map. The enemy don't know where you are. He's gonna have level 20 now as well with this. Is he gonna go for the attacks required or the extra AoE in this game? I guess attacks required since he didn't take the CDR.
And he's going for the right clicker build. Axe and Tusk gonna pass each other. Shackles on the Dawnbreaker top with an RP and a blink call. This is some heavy commitment, and Double King's gonna say, okay, I guess you got me. Now I'm gonna get you. Magnus and Shadow Shaman get clapped by Double King. DNM's in the back on the Phoenix while the Medusa has been isolated.
Still in there.
Gaze, silenced up and trying to face off against DNM, but he's going to roll up and back away from the Serpent Wall down the Medusa. While Dota-sama is protected by the Ice Shards, and there's double buyback from the Slayers. A rough spot.
An awkward situation to double buyback into. You don't have a tier 1 tower, no close TP reinforcement, and now instead we see Radiant smoking up, Dire as well, that is.
And both supports spent their ultis already, so they Serpent Warded, they RP'd, and then they buy back. Still gonna get a skewer into call, but the Solar Guardian turnaround play, the Tusk, he's gonna use himself and stay alive. Supernova's in the back, can't be focused down just yet. In comes Menace with his Medusa alongside to kill off the Necro. Axe and Magnus for the Necro and the Tusk.
Still not a bad trade if you're Radiant, as long as you can hold on to this Roshan as well. I don't think they can do it with only the 3 heroes. But the buybacks make this really, really worth it for Radiant as they take over the net worth lead again on the back of this fight. The back and forth game we have. The gold graph is looking hilarious right now. It's having a heart attack.
It's all over the place. Well, we're getting towards longest game of the NA quals. You know, 30 minutes in, we're already like top 2, I think, top 3.
That's true, actually. Decent duration on that.
DNM. He's going to find an opening on this Phoenix, who doesn't have dive anymore. He does have a TP though, and that's going to work.
Good TP outs. Of course, the Pango went for a Manta Style against the Orchid, so it doesn't have a Basher just yet. Not quite that ready. Last team fight, we did see RP into a very, very quick call, overlapping almost the entire RP duration, by the way. So Dire just need to do a little bit better job chain stunning. I know that they want to burst people quickly, but when going on a Dawnbreaker, she's not the easiest kill. We saw how durable she is, 3,360 HP.
It's very difficult to go on her.
Yeah, that's before the saves come in. Still though, this game is scaling towards late game. Medusa is actually farming a lot. We haven't talked too much about her progression, but 3.5k gold, already has Disperser. Medusa is getting massive. It's a nice rune in the illusion.
Yeah, and you already said she's not like, you know, answered fully, right? Like this minus armor from Dawnbreaker, this Reaper Scythe from Necro, kind of worthless against her. It's Pango Diffusal Blade that's the big threat, honestly.
Yeah, and Pango Differ is annoying, but it's not really hard counter because he can never stand and continuously just auto attack Medusa really fast for a long time. Like that's never gonna happen.
He's poking with Swash.
Yeah. He's going for the MKB on Medusa over the Butterfly. I mean, yes, there's the mischance from the Necro, but I would have for sure thought you'd go Butterfly here against the Dawnbreaker, so you can't get hit.
Yeah, I would have thought so. Even, you know, Muerta, Pango, bring some right clicks in. And Tusk gonna use up the Medusa, and a good push back there with a fear. And Muerta keeps them at bay.
Yeah. Axe wants to slow down the Muerta. Let's get the Battle Hunger on her. Kind of hard for her to get away fully.
Oh, the TP out. Just about.
Good call to TP. The continuous slow Battle Hunger is so frustrating for a support who doesn't have an easy way to dispel. She can dispel with ulti, but you know, you don't really want to click ulti always. This bottom Roche being eyed up by both teams now. Definitely feel how they're starting to gravitate towards the fact that the Aegis would be nice to get a hold of.
the matter of positioning yourself to take it, though, as a treacherous journey to try and cross this river, as both teams very, very mindful and respectful of the team fight capabilities of each other. Like, playing into Roche Pit against this Dire lineup is madness. So you ideally want some kind of like smoke wraparound, a pickoff or two. You know, the buybacks and the diebacks out of the Die supports, absolutely a weakness that 4 anchors could exploit.
Yeah, MKB is complete for Medusa. Still farming super, super fast, staying ahead of the rest of the people. But I mean, Radiant, they're looking to play towards power spikes themselves. Right now, queuing up an Assault Cuirass over on Dawnbreaker, recognizing that there's a lot of physical damage going on both from their team and the enemy team. Only thing to mention is that Deso AC doesn't feel good into Medusa, since she doesn't care about the Minus Armor at all. He shifts his back into a Blink Dagger.
He's been toying with the idea of this overwhelming blink for a while.
Yeah.
He's going to get on top of the Magnus for a moment there. Can we harpoon him back? We almost got close enough. There was then an axe, though, from the shadows. Like the around that corner were 3 enemies waiting to strike if Double King did overreact.
I like the Octarine Core on Axe, by the way. It's setting up for the final most important item, which is the Refresher. DNM gets called.
Yeah, dived on.
Chain stun.
Nice calling. And they've got shackles and stuns. The snowball's not quick enough. The Tusk can't save the Pango. He's dead with no buyback. And now Double King in trouble. RP'd and dunked. 2 cores immediately obliterated as the Slayers come in and can deal with his Tusk as well.
Yeah, he canceled the RP, so he still has it as well. Looked like he was going to throw it, but good presence of mind there. Recognized that he didn't need to. 3 kills quickly. Axe TPing to deal with the side lane. There is Roshan right next to them, so Medusa heads over. This Medusa is starting to look like a real threat they can't deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. We're for sure entering this period of the game where, you know, 1 Observer Ward, 1 jump, 1 miscast spell could seal the doom of one of these teams in a fight.
Yeah, for sure. And I like that Magnus went mid, put down an Observer, kind of prepping for that next push. He knows that the way they win fights is what happened just there. They get vision on like key target like Pango, jump them, burst him. This time it wasn't even from Ward, he ran into a Phoenix and that worked out well for him.
And 4 anchors gonna have to wait a good 30 seconds before they get their Dawnbreaker back, which means the map gets pretty small. Dota Sama's gonna try and push out bot, get what he can, but mid and bot lane. I mean, top lane shot by Dusa Illusions, mid lane Real Heroes, bot lane Axe. All of a sudden, you don't have these avenues of attack, which you need with a Dawnbreaker team. You want to be playing as 4 forward, and then Solar Guardian to react.
Yeah, they also.
But if you're the ones being run at, you can't.
They also never wanted to head late game overall. I guess the Medusa, Axe, and Magnus, this game is not going to scale in a good way for you as the game goes late. I'm defending mid now against the Medusa, feeling quite difficult. Should get a little Giant Maul with extra night vision. Could potentially give the vision for some of the jumps that we've seen.
Oh, hello. They've got a grab on the Necro. All of a sudden, this Magnus has found an opening to kill off Dota Sama. 90 seconds.
Oh boy. That is a possibly game-winning pick right there. Push on bottom. How do you defend with that Necro? I think they just gotta try and delay it with Murta, and that's it. Just give up the racks, but...
Just give up the racks.
This is gonna be a mid-push as well, though. This doesn't stop here.
How did they see the Necro just show on a wave, I guess?
I think he just went fishing. He has Aghanim Scepter, so you just blink in, press it. Maybe he did scan. I didn't see if he used scan or not, but...
Very well done. Now there's a DD rune at spawn bottom. I don't know if the courier that flew over it actually saw it. But something maybe there the Dire could use if they need to fall back. Currently, of course, no ideas of retreating. They are here to kill off tier 3s and barracks. And so far, no signal of an attempt to defend.
This is kind of worst case scenario though. You TP home with 3 heroes, all of you are just sitting in base and you're still losing the racks. So these 3 heroes, they really wish that they were still on the field doing something, you know, cutting the next mid creep wave, maybe pushing bottom. And instead they're just stuck in base.
Now everyone's here. Now you've got to deal with 2 waves that are on your tier 4s with multiple catapults. Magnus is potentially still fishing for you. So the Dire team gonna retreat with the 2 minutes left on Aegis.
Double King
and come for this 3rd and
7K
final
gold.
lane.
Okay, there we go. Sanjasha. Bit of extra status resistance against the Magnus and the Shadow Shaman. And this is a desperate smoke. Losing 2 lanes, immediately smoking up. They're looking for Axe. A great pick if they can get him. He does blink to safety.
Ooh, hello there. Tusk and Necro right on top of him. And this is a dead Axe with a Reaper Scythe.
Good chain
Now,
stunning.
what happens next? That's the big thing, right? DD Rune is there. The potential to chase for more. They don't have any vision up there, though. The one ward they have is right-hand side of the map, and it's kind of worthless.
It does swing the favor a little bit. At least 90 seconds of him being dead. Good time for them to push out, fix these lanes, especially when you have big creeps against you. Get a chance to push them out. And Dire, they're the ones who have Aegis, so ideally they want to make something happen during these last seconds, but instead they're going to push towards top tier 2, but they don't have Axe with them, so it feels a bit sketch for them to go push right now into a DD room. Magnus is not joining his team. They do have Outpost, but if there's a brawl over here, this could work out really well for Radiant, honestly. Dire correctly back away.
Really a matter of getting your vision down right now. It feels like the time to... Yeah, I mean, Rasta has one already, a gem. Would be nice for the Radiant team to grab as well. If they had the money for it.
You know, we can see where the vision is, but for them, it's so hard to make aggressive plays when you don't know if you have traversed over wards or not.
Dawnbreaker. She's been found in this bottom lane. Tons of stuns. BKB's up. Oh my god. Lifesteal's back to full off 1 Starbreaker, then goes for the Nightfall to TP home.
Ooh. Yeah, close, but not.
And now Medusa in the mid lane. Tag team, but lacking damage. Radiant can't really follow through on her without the Dawnbreaker, while on the right-hand side, Double King has arrived back in here with a Solar Guardian. Menace dead, buys back on the Shadow Shaman. Supernova with the Sun Ray over the top of this Necro to force her back. While the Pango's rolled up but stunned, caught and held in place. They're chain disabled, they can't run and hide. Pango does get a bit of distance, somehow gets to low ground. The final bits of damage, not enough. Oh, he dies in Fountain!
Oh my god, he died in Fountain because the Fountain didn't heal him enough because he was Spirit Vesseled again. I think without the Spirit Vessel, he wouldn't have died there. The heal reduction coming in and making a big difference in these fights. I mean, we see a Necro just running around unable to heal his HP up, struggling so badly. And some big items coming in for Dire. I mean, these neutral items as well. The Decim Bloodright on Axe and on the Phoenix, giving them some great AoE. Dawnbreaker's
Axe.
battling against Axe.
It's not an easy fight though, she's losing it. The Axe wins the 1v1. Tusk will come in to clear up the mess, but my goodness.
I mean,
You don't expect that to happen.
yeah, nah, he's strong. It's the battle hungers really add up. He has the shard, so he can put multiple on her as well. And fighting into a blade mail, you have a Dessel. Sure, you're lifestealing a little bit, but not much when he has that high armor.
And now the Medusa's on its last lane. Glyph is up. And tier 3's about to die while the Magnus attempts to go fishing again, but he gets rooted up on his way through.
It's their chance to just close out the game. The Medusa getting the Mega Creeps to even, making sure that it's gonna fall, drop the snakes. I told you, man, Slayers. I believe in them. They just need to get that coordination, and this game they have had it.
Yeah, they've brought everything together very nicely.
Yeah, draft on paper looks really nice, and they've executed quite well. Some overextensions here and there, but they're now in a completely winning position. Got the Mega Creeps already, so this game is all but said and done. We have, of course, 4 anchors trying to do what they can, but getting out from base with Mega Creeps pushing in really, really hard. They're smoking out, but it doesn't look like they're going to connect on anyone.
They have to try. They've got to try and do something here. like 40 seconds until Roche fast spawns. That was rough as well. There's not even like a Roche to go and steal or force a fight around. So they come out of the base, they deward, they've got to clear out all these waves, and potentially just even smoke again to try and get out there. While the Slayers, rallying around this Medusa, bring everybody to the forefront.
Axe is almost at like not gear cap, but he's at the dream stage of Axe. You have Arcane Blink, you have Octarine Core, you have Refresher and BKB. Like, this is insane. He has such a long range blink now, big AoE from the Desert Blood Rite, and then he has double call with the AoE from the level 25 talent as well. This call is wild, huge. Yeah, I mean, just hover it and look at that AoE. You can hardly even miss it at this point. It's so nice.
Jeez. He's a large lad. Roshan very quickly back up as well. Aegis and Banner going to be taken by the Slayers here with no contest. As the 4 anchors have all got to deal with the mega creeps coming in.
The Manta illusions from Medusa are strong enough that nobody can really kill them anymore. Like I said, the Diffusal can counter Medusa pretty well in the early game, but come mid game, late game, the differ isn't enough. You need like better solutions, and they honestly have quite horrible heroes against the Medusa. Like, they have great minus armor from the Deso, the Pango, and then they have Necro who works on HP percentage, which she never loses. I don't know, it's just a free Medusa game, isn't it?
Guys felt that way. Oh, DNM. He's been taunted and called up by his axe and dragged out of his base to get dunked. He does have buyback though. He's going to have to spend it here, or else this Medusa and axe is going to run you down. Double King already brought to half HP, needs backup to come in quickly. Pango will roll forward. Medusa though has Aegis, so dealing with 1 life is a problem. Dealing with 2 seems impossible. As the Pango, taunted again from super long range, just being dealt with by this axe. And now the Medusa can open up on the buildings, back onto the tier 4s, Banner in place, glyphed up creeps charging forward, and now the Horn cancelled out, no skewer, good Yules there. Double King kept alive with a snowball save to run forward into the middle of them all. Massive Starbreaker and damage onto them, so Lupa and Men is dead, but Double King is taken down. Dota-sama being slowed, Skadi hit, tagged up and killed. They'll triple buyback though as the 4 anchors look to defend their base. Medusa back to tier 4 business.
Still has Aegis.
Standing and delivering as best as she can, but you're right. Aegis in hands as they get a 2-man RP, catching up the Tusk and the Dawnbreaker. Dota-sama's trying to charge forward and deal with them, but they've lost Double King again. Double minutes, Double King's double dead. As the Yules and Medusa will just delay this inevitable push from coming in. Aegis still in hands. Dota-sama's about to hit the deck. A jump in from DNM to find the Phoenix is good. But Necro about to be gone for 2 minutes himself while this Medusa seems unstoppable. Tusk will find a kill on the Magnus, but Medusa's first life is still yet to be claimed. Quadruple catapults assaulting the base. The big creeps have arrived and the throne is falling. Nothing you can do, 4 anchors, but watch your buildings, your foundations collapse. And game 3 is now the only thing that separates us from a winner in this series. We thought it might be a quick 2-0, but the Slayers have...
The pressure's on for anchors.
I mean, the meta shifts very quickly, not just in terms of hero picks and drafting, but in terms of, our mentality and the morale of the players, sure, but like just witnessing it from a spectator perspective. We've gone from thinking 4 anchors, the upper hand, the better team, like across the board.
The updogs, please.
They are I'm sorry, I keep forgetting. They are the updogs. And the underdogs here have come back, fought back, taken game 2, and now we're kind of confidently saying game 3 is theirs to lose from draft.
Yeah, I mean, still though, they showed a lot of resilience in game number 2. They put up a good fight, and they definitely show that they have great coordination between themselves. So we'll see how well it's going to work out for them in this game. They have been invasive, gone in, placed some wards. At the same time, we see Magnus doing the same thing that he did last time, just sneak around. Didn't put the same ward though. He did fresh it up a little bit and put it in a different spot. That still gets a glimpse of couriers going by as well. This is actually a pretty nice ward because it can't see the wards coming or the couriers coming out in lane, but gives good information.
Bounty runes, 3 for 1.
Are they not grabbing the other one?
I say 1. Magnus and Dawnbreaker.
Did you want it?
Are not going for it. So Magnus wants to block up the wave. He's going to take some hits from Big Fat B, but that means Double King picks up the 4th bounty rune. An incredible start for them, but look at this. Dawnbreaker and Disruptor in behind the Terror Blade. The bait, the trap, it's been set and sprung, and Double King glimpsed back in to take a tumble. Magnus gonna die? No, he's not. JK, double JK actually. Verified, not saving him. Big Fat B though, he's dead for sure.
Yeah, finally does get him as well. So 2 for 1, sure, but losing 4 runes like that, that's a lot of gold going the way of Radiant. And definitely going to be a big upset towards mid lane, where I said there's a lot of pressure on Ember. He has to have a good game. Not many better ways to start than getting 4 bounty runes going into this mid matchup.
Yeah, nice old start.
Still kind of appreciate the fact that they went for that three-man gank on the lane kind of play. It's similar to what we saw Shopify do in the upper bracket.
Yeah, tilt the enemy. Let's put Double King in a sad spot. Now Silencer is kind of moving around trying to get back into the lane himself.
You know what? He gets a minus for not sticking around as Disruptor and looking for the glimpse play on the TB as he TP'd into the lane. That would have been the game winner.
We would have had one of those Medusa moments again.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that's what triggered that one. Wait, which team was it? It wasn't them, was it? No, Team Slayers knocked out a couple of C-Dub players. They knocked out Nyengo and Ifrit's team. Then they lost to Yoro Ryodan and then got a walkover to get this qualification slot.
Right, yeah.
It was C-Dub that was involved in the Medusa incident.
Right. The Medusaning. Up top lane, we see a lot of harassment being traded so far, but actually a pretty good start. Oh, as they go on Silencer.
Yeah, hammered down by the Dawnbreaker, skewered back by the Magnus. Big Fat B does turn, gets a kill. Wait, he's got himself away from there. He's got boots. He's got boots and fairy fire. He's all right.
He bought boots after a first kill. Very useful choice right there. And that is going to keep him safe. You are against the double melee lane, so boots and Silencer can keep him alive. Just kite these people, and that will give the TB a little bit better game as well.
Yeah, with Meta up, he can force that Dawnbreaker away from wave a little bit. But with Meta down, he's got to step back against the magic damage of Looper coming in and clearing through the Silencer.
Yeah, so heroes getting traded back and forth. Still pretty good for the Dawn and Magnus lane. I mean, you're definitely the weaker lane against the Silencer and TB. So getting kills, they're pretty happy. Dishing what he can into Double King.
Yeah, going toe-to-toe with the Dawnbreaker and coming out the worst. And then how's the top lane going? We've not really peered into there. Drow Disruptor against a Necro Tusk.
Tusk has been doing a good job angling and creating space for the Necro, allowing him to get farm, but the harass is pretty constant as well coming out from the Disruptor and Drow. Necro does have the healing Lotus, so he can be a deceptive target to go on.
We'll glimpse him back in towards the Drow, but yeah, full HP Dota Sama going to turn on this Disruptor now. Pushed back a little bit. Roseanne can't continue as the Frost Arrow is starting to get annoying for the Necro. The tag team and long range poke forces the Drow back. Both teams spending full ones and as much regen as they can to stay alive. But now Roseanne's going to get glimpsed with no snowball or anything. Has shards, but you've blocked the Drow in here as she tries to run away from the Necro.
She's completely fine too.
Bodyguard her and she's fine, and even turning onto Dota Sama. Dodges away from the multi-shot, but the Frost Arrow tags him up, slows him down. Necro a hit away from death. The Disruptor just needs to get that final touch.
Oh. That was so close, man. Barely. Magic Stick just coming off cooldown. The tower region almost saving him. Not enough. Now with a mid TP though. When supports die, they can maybe look towards mid. Actually, Ember's going in.
He can't. He doesn't want to. Now Magnus has rotated a TP in here. Roseanne is sent packing all the way back.
A good safety TP. Oh, glimpse back to base. See ya and goodbye. And tip. Oh boy, we're getting into the tips now. I was about to say, we haven't had too much of that here, you know? I thought this was America.
Freedom to all chat. Your Second Amendment.
Yes, that's definitely one of the newer amendments. The freedom to tip.
Wait, which one is it? Is Second Amendment the speech one, or is that the guns one? I always forget. Fifth Amendment is to not incriminate yourself, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Isn't the second the guns? I'm pretty sure.
That's what I'm realizing. I've messed it up. First is speech.
First is speech.
That's what it is. Second is guns. I don't know what third and fourth are. They're probably useless.
Which one was
Third
it?
one is
I think
the amendment that you're allowed to gank and roam and kill position 5 disruptors in his top lane.
Huh? Chasing down on the drow.
Booted out a lane as well.
Gotta zone him out as the silencer is coming in as well to kind of camp the area. Very swingy laning stage. Drow does go over and pick up the bounty rune as the power rune is spawning. 6 minutes. Lina does get it. DD rune as well.
Oh, and straight away pumping that damage into the Tusk. Magnus has arrived. Lina. Oh my god, are we going to be able to keep Vagabond alive and grab a double kill? 7-3 already. Laning stage going very well for the Slayers.
Yeah, that's enormous. This DD rune is not done as well. He's going to lay in this damage to the tower. And I would be surprised to see if, you know, this Lina can be dealt with when he gets that good of a start. 3.5k net worth. Onto the Necro.
Another skewer. I mean, this pos for Magnus is causing real problems for 4 anchors. Dota Sama inside the kinetic field, trying to turn and death pulse, load us up, survive and do damage back. And it looks like at least the former is true. He does stay alive.
He has a lot of healing. Very difficult to go through all his healing, but did force out his use of the Lotus. So that's always something. Terrorblade with a big move, moving in for the Wisdom. So this can create an imbalance where their supports are going to be out leveling the Dire supports. We saw that last game too. I think they managed to steal it in the last game as well.
Yeah, miscalculation by the Slayers. Leaving that one open. I left Dawnbreaker down bottom alone, trying to get level 6, and then of course you can play out the map pretty wide. But now the Radiant scan that left-hand side, I guess realizing, oh, double Wisdom Shrine for us then.
Yeah, feels good for them. And meanwhile, Science are sticking around, just making sure the Necro is able to lane. As this top lane has been a point of contest for both teams.
Deep Radiant Vision, going to see the Drow Disruptor both disengaging from tier 1. So 4 anchors now get the choice. They get to make the choice. Push tower, keep Necro happy up here, or even go through Twin Gate. Maybe TP mid. And DNM trying to go for the 8-minute rune. Shield picked up and bottled by the Lina. And DNM going to think about remnanting away. He's getting glimpsed and pulled around everywhere, while Vagabond just chucks the Laguna Blade straight at Big Fat B. Not really able to catch up to the Sansa.
Okay, get him in the end.
Shockwave is going to be able to tag him up and slow him down.
And difficult to run away, and even if they tried to turn that fight, there would still be Dawnbreaker potentially ulting in. Dawn was keeping an eye on the situation, but didn't need to pull the trigger on that ulti. So a big win fight that they didn't have to use that as well. And now quickly moving bottom. Slayers, man, they're turning up the pace so much from what we saw from them in game 1. Even in game 2, this is looking very fast now.
Yeah, it's like, where does Terrorblade go? Jungle? It's not even minute 10 yet.
Yeah, TP is a little bit cautious. He knows the rotation could be coming. This is not Double King's first rodeo. He knows the pressure, and with the confidence that Dawnbreaker's playing as well, that she probably has backup behind her.
And then she shows up. Lina suddenly hits your tower and you're like, well, do I really want to be here? Oh,
and they found Silencer in the tree line.
Easy pickings.
They're on the Lina though. This could be the bigger turn kill.
Yeah, definitely could be. Static Storm's placed down by that Reaper Scythe. And Lina hits the ground pretty quickly. Disruptor's traded out for it as Dota Sama comes in with a double kill. And recuperating a lot of the early losses. Now we've got Necro Blink.
Yeah. Necro Blink coming out. Doesn't have ulti anymore, so a little bit unfortunate to get the Blink but not have the main tool you wanted to use it with. But still good by them. And this is something that I should give credit for anchors. They play very well around towers. They try and defend towers really well. They attack towers really well. Whereas again, we saw a little bit sloppy approach towards the tower coming in from the Slayers. Lina has the Maelstrom first item as well, the farm rate, and also quite a bit of damage coming out, of course, from that.
Yeah, Hand of Midas Dawnbreaker. I guess seeing this game and just thinking, hey, slow it down. Drow Ranger's not having the best of times.
You
Get off the
could say
ground
that
with
this is
something.
not the best Blade Mail game, right? Like, TB doesn't care much about Blade Mail. He has so much armor, and his illusions do a fair amount of the damage anyway. And it doesn't work against Light of Fist from Ember, so you could say that that's kind of a bad option. I'm still not really a fan of the Midas first on a Dawnbreaker. I think I would have preferred just to see Echo Saber, you know, some base stats increase, even just a few bracers, and get, you know, extra statty.
A long smoke move here. Disruptor and Lina. With Magnus behind them, they can't go hunting behind this tier 1. Need to break this tower down before they have true access to the TB's land.
This feels where they are lacking that one move from the carry coming in and just hitting the tower. It could take like 5 seconds, get the tower, get out, but they can't push with the Dawn because Dawn wants to be the one to save with the ulti. It's taking a while, but finally they are going to get the tower. Lina TP's top.
And Big Fat B is dead.
Yeah.
Poor
Again,
little
though,
guy.
showing Heroes top gives a chance again for 5 anchors to go and try and defend this bottom tower. TB shows up and says, okay, I guess you don't want my tower. I'll just push out the lane, delay this area being taken over even more.
And DNM still on the hunt for a rune and still being pummeled by this Lina. Like, Lina's got the last, what, 4 active runes? Shield, DD, Regen, Arcane.
I think
Ember is struggling.
Yeah, I think he got all of them right. Like, he's just been in full control here. Pretty good stuff coming out.
Yeah, Lina shows up at Laguna Blades. Anyone who dares make an appearance at one of these active runes
I
is
like
always
that, though.
backed up by multiple supports.
I like the immediately ultis and doesn't think like, oh, I should hold my ulti for a potential kill. Instead, just use the Lina ulti. It costs 150 mana. It's really low. The cooldown is super low on it as well. So whenever you see someone, just click it, because at the worst case scenario, the enemy lives and they have to go heal up from the damage you did them. And that's already some space created. Ember took that ulti and then had to go base TP cooldown.
Dire's top tower is under
It's starting to become, you know, fan favorites, maybe. We're starting to see this Vagabond guy is, you know, quite aggressive, got some cool ideas around him. The Slayer's team wanting to try and hold on to this top tower.
Dragonlance coming in for the Linas, not going for that early travels. Oh, this high ground could be dangerous to walk up.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Dota Sama being looked at. They've got a static storm onto the silencer. Roseanne gets off the snowball, and in comes the Solar Guardian with the Ember remnanting forward. They'll kill Roseanne first. Now, Dota Sama's gone in here expecting the team to follow through, but DNM comes back in too late. Slays the Disruptor, looks for the Lina on the right-hand side, but remnanting away after clearing it out as the TB from Big Fat B gets him to safety.
TB gonna be completely fine to take over the area as well. Looked like a really amazing fight for them, but good play by the Ember going on the back line there. Lina thought that she could stand her ground, but didn't really click the Regen rune early enough. So the Regen didn't have time to heal him up, and he does go down to the Ember damage.
And a roll into mid, snowball, punch, and a catch on Lupa here. Could get turned around quickly with a Magnus coming in. Shockwave, RP does connect on 2 of them with a multi-shot, pushing the damage forward. Roseanne very close to death. DNM finally dropping. Dota Sama did manage to trade out for the Magnus at least, with Big Fat B killing off Lupa as well. The thing's getting very messy here in the mid game.
Finding kills for anchors, working their way back after what was a pretty rough start, but they're getting the better hand of these trades. Even the previous fight was, you know, ending up favoring them. And now here, getting 2 kills. And they're playing with Dawnbreaker cooldown, you know, knowing that Dawnbreaker doesn't have ulti. Also, this Midas Dawnbreaker is very greedy, so I think 4 anchors do the right thing by just activating. They're looking for Drow.
We've got a little bit more of his forehead and his nose now in his player cam. A little less of the horse in the background.
Big Fat B tracking the Drow, walking behind him.
gonna go on this? Yeah, with Roseanne coming in.
Dawn has
Who
ulti.
else? Dota Sama. Dawn ult is too late though. Lupa's come in now and in a 1v3, kind of surrounded, while Double King is dead to the Lina in the back of this fight. Trying to connect in with the rest of 4 anchors. And Dota Sama is getting skewered back towards high ground, not quite making it up the cliff. Global Silence there now to deal with Alina. Ember Remnants in. Vagabond picks up a double kill, sure, but Dota Sama comes out with a bigger double kill himself.
Gotta be very happy getting all this region as well. They're trying to get
Glimpse.
go on him. Blink plus skewer is available, but
Straight
such
back
a
to the
hard
tier
target.
3. Starbreaker, the control. Dota Sama turns with the Reaper Scythe. That's not enough damage to kill off Lupa though. Things getting very messy, but this is a wild place to be taking a fight. Behind Dire Tier 2, top half of the, I mean, top like 10% of the map.
Yeah, almost the entire map is just open and being untouched right now. So plenty of farm to be had finally as the players calm down a little bit. Well, calm down. Most of them died down. So now back to farming the Drow. Gonna shove out the top lane. But this gave enough farm as well for Ember these last 3 fights to get his Mage Slayer. Mage Slayer plus a Haste Rune. I would argue that he's the strongest player on the field right now, despite being the lowest farmed out of the course, which is kind of a crazy take, but I actually think the impact of an early Mage Slayer Ember is so hard to fight into, especially for Lina.
Yeah, it's so big.
Even the Maelstrom damage gets reduced. Like it's so impactful.
I mean, my big worry there is the Terrorblade tried to join and then died on the migration up there.
Yeah.
So often we see these Terrorblades. Are they gonna kill Dawn? No, he's too big. Like so often we see these Terrorblades, right? Just hiding in the fog, farming, jungling for a long time. And you have these fights on the opposite side of the map. You're like, oh, nice. Fighting over there means Terrorblade's farming. But he lost a lot of time trying to join in.
He did.
So
Now
I do
he's
want to see
pushing-
Double King just, stay bottom, push lane.
Yeah. Now he's doing more what we expect from a TB. Just take the tower when there's any engagement somewhere else. You look away for 10 seconds and you lose a tier 1 tower. Look away 20 seconds, you lose a tier 2 tower. The TB, he definitely brings the damage to these towers.
That's where the TB belongs.
Disruptor. Gonna get vision over onto the silencer.
Magnus
him
was
back.
pinging it out. They still want to go on this with a glimpse, but a silence going to stop the blink play from Mag. That's a good amount of damage from this Lina, though, nearly finishing off the silencer as this Dawnbreaker Solar Guardian lands and connects on nothing. DNM retreats while the Ice Shards slightly off the mark there. Going to push Lina away. And with all that poking, prodding, global, ultis being used, nobody dies. Vagabond?
Okay.
I don't see a world in which that ever works.
No, I think he saw so many people around mid as well before. He kind of has to expect. Maybe with the silencer ulti on cooldown, he felt like, oh, it's not so scary to go in here.
RP mid onto this
no.
Ember, but they drag him out of the static storm, so now DNM has some freedom to cast spells and Remnant around. Yeah, he's going to slide Remnant to get away from there. Now Magnus dead, Disruptor in trouble. The Tusk Shards block the Drow. The chase is on. Dota Sama and Double King have both arrived to kill off the Drow Ranger with a slight chains. They connect beautifully.
And now Dawn is in.
The Dawnbreakers come in. Already lost 4 teammates. Their 5th one might fall as quickly as they did as well. Chased by the snowballing Tusk and 4 anchors. They've wiped them.
Man, everything went downhill there with losing the Lina quickly, but then also that misplay with Magnus and Disruptor not really coordinating their spell usage. Really sad to see. You just see Magnus. It gives me some what was it, Dota Cinema flashbacks. Like Magnus, no, it's a classic skewer away. Unfortunately, sometimes you don't really want to pull people back towards your Drow. Drow has plenty of range. She kind of wants to keep that range as well.
My brain needs to come back to this Lina moment. Because there's what is Illusion Rune, right? Illusion Rune there. Tusk is standing next to it. Lina is like 30% HP and walks towards it. I'm just trying to figure out like best case, worst case scenario. Best case, she walks in, Tusk snowballs, she gets the rune, and then gets stunned by snowball, and in my eyes, she dies.
Yeah, I don't know.
Best case scenario.
I think he thought he had more of his players closer to him behind him. Is my only explanation.
Right.
You know,
So it's like
global
there's a
silence
blink
on
RP
cooldown.
and-
He thought he had like some, you know, some friends and backups to go in here. He gets the rune. Because how many times did we see him dominate on that top rune? It's his spot. He's been taking shield runes and arcane runes and regen runes, all kinds of stuff.
So
up
he
there.
was too locked in. He was too locked into the game plan.
Familiarity, you know, this is my rune spot. But sadly, this time it was not his rune spot. It was his graveyard.
What is that saying? Familiarity breeds complacency?
Yes,
That's
something
pretty much
like
what
that.
happened here, right?
There's
the
a
jump.
immediately. Pull back.
Magnus. RP's up, but they've got the global silence, the slight, the turnaround play, the Reaper's Scythe. Magnus dead. Dawnbreaker trying to heal up. Laguna Blade's thrown in over the tusk with a Static Storm there. Necro might be in trouble as well. Pops the Essence Ring, heals up, but he's dragged back into his death. While Ember Spirit goes to work on the Lina. Silencer tries to push damage as well, but Ember's being multi-shot down, nearly dead. Will Remnant away to safety though. Now Terrorblade, he rocks up. Oh, everyone's low. Can I get a kill, please? One disruptor, thank you very much.
Yeah, runs in with the shard super fast and just gonna secure himself a kill. Actually, didn't even have to use the shard to get in there. Just Manta Stomp movement speed. And now with people expending all their ultis, TB is happy to push tower. He knows there's no RP. He knows that there's no disruptor ulti, even if he does respawn. So this
Yeah, like
tower should be
unironically,
going
this is what we want from the Terrorblade, right? To do the classic anti-mage thing, you know, rock up late, get some
that's a
Sunder
easy
back
Sunder.
on the Magnus, easy Sunder. Now slight chains on Lina, big damage from range, and Vagabond dead again.
Oh boy.
It's all falling apart.
It's all falling apart. It's too optimistic, man. The TB.
The thread's
Yeah.
been pulled. The sweater's unraveling.
It's really happening bit by bit. You could just see the despair setting in as they were so dominant, but now final game and starting to go downhill. The TB, the be all end all type carry, having a dream game really.
Not totally doom and gloom, just currently the tempo not really fitting with a rhythm that the Dire want to play at.
They
They
need
still
to
have these
find
big ultis, right? They've still got like RP, Static Storm, Solar Guardian. Just Drow Ranger hasn't been able to be there.
Yeah. Well, they need to find the right target. They need to find Silencer and deal with him, or at least poke out the Silencer ulti without committing too many things. Because if they just like cold open with an RP on an Ember and pull him back like that, you have to expect the Silencer ulti to be used if it's off cooldown. So tracking that cooldown, playing around that cooldown, the most important thing right now for Dire. And you know, cooldown status, it is ready right now. They do have it. Also, speaking of Midas, Silencer did go for a Midas himself. We had a Midas Dawnbreaker. This is a Midas Silencer as well, building up slowly. Got the 4 staff coming out.
Okay.
Tower is under attack.
Lina looking at a BKB. That could not come sooner. Shadowblade's going to allow her to reposition quickly over towards her own Ancients, where she spots the Ember swinging in pretty quickly. Aggressive Remnant into a global silence, but the Static Storm was dropped. DNM dropping low, but he skips away from danger, gets another slight out, and his Terrorblade opens up with a damage. Double King looking at the Lina now, who's kind of stranded. Another jump with a slight chains. Vagabond invis back into the base. So will survive on Lina, but that was a scary spot to be in. Now they're going to blink RP, skewer the Ember back into the Laguna Blade Light Strike. Nice pick off, but as Lina overexposed, shards off the mark. Vagabond, oh, still gonna get jumped by Roseanne. The tag team punch, there we go. Dota Sama's in to finish off the Lina. Took a little bit longer than expected. More resources required as the Magnus misses out on the skewer.
Yeah, looking for a pull again here. Probably a good thing he didn't get the pull as the Necro W was coming off cooldown. In the end, another one fight for Radiant. Yes, you did get some consolation kills there, but things are really turning rough. The vision is crazy in this area as well. They need to get some D-words going.
Who killed Drow? Did I miss Drow dying in that fight? I feel like I'm going insane. Drow died at the beginning of that fight to Dota Master.
Yeah, he was got jumped above them. Like the Necro jumped up top, and then meanwhile there was fight up down below that Ember was going. So they did
That's
strike
what
at
I was
two
entirely
different.
focusing on that like main fight.
Yeah, there was like a double initiate. It was during the global silence. So basically they got value on 2 spots at the same time.
Dire's
But the Searing Chains, I honestly think they're getting big value from the gang, the chain gang. This facet is pretty annoying to play against. The 4 target Searing Chain and also throwing it from the Remnants. It caught a lot of heroes.
Well, Big Fat B was our MVP from 4 Anchors yesterday. Or, well, I guess not yesterday. Yesterday didn't happen.
Last time we cast games of Dota 2.
From 2 days ago. His Tusk's superb with the saves. These globals he's had have been very impressive.
Yeah, they've been well timed. Definitely choosing his moments very well. Has it ready again now. It's kind of fun to see a team where, you know, both of them are comfortable playing the Silencer or playing the Tusk, so he gets to play Silencer here. And Roche going down quickly, no contest. The tag team and the Metamorpho or the Conjure Image going absolutely crazy on it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Lena's going to get a solo blow up on Silencer though. The Shadow Blade in with a kill.
A good kill to get, and gets himself closer to the BKB. Needs 800 more gold, and then he's going to have a little bit of safety towards some of the magic damage coming out. The Ember is mostly magical still. The Necro with his Radiance and so on. Will be nice to have some protection against that. Right now he doesn't have it though, and he's got an Ember on him. That's not going to work.
I'm dead for a long time. And now this Aegis Terrorblade, what, there's a tier 2 top, tier 2 bottom. And it feels like this top lane might even have tier 3 shoved in.
Yeah, they're pushing quickly. Buildings are dropping. And I feel like the Silencer was the key pick, dude. Because it's taking away all the, I don't know, the oppression, the attention from these core heroes onto bursting the Ember and so on. It just allows DNM to play such a nice game.
Yeah, it's like the whole ideology of this Magnus, right? Like they're playing a Magnus draft when they're winning these games. You know, the Magnus Medusa is a Magnus draft. This is a Magnus draft. They want these big skewer backs, these blink RPs, the big catch, because otherwise they don't really have anything. You know, Solar Guardian, reactive. Static Storm, you want to use it reactive when you see someone that has kind of gone in too far. Their primary catch, kill, jump, team fight is all on this mag. So the fact they didn't get Rubik, but they did get Silencer is a nice little slot into that position. Not as good as the Rubik probably, but still able to do a similar job against this mag.
Yeah, works very well against him, and also Dawnbreaker. Dawn just doesn't have a nice solution against it. She wants to ulti in, and Silencer could hold his ulti specifically to counter the Dawn ulti. He doesn't have Aghanim, so he can't quick cancel his ulti, and even then it's not a guarantee. Lina gets picked off here.
It's rough for Vagabond. I mean, that Reaper Scythe doesn't finish her off, but he's still going to get the kill.
You gotta think of her as an anti-mage right now. She has the 15 talent, so as long as their Fiery Soul stacks, then the magic resistance is crazy high.
All the outer towers gone, and high ground. The next port of call for the 4 Anchors and Dota Sama. Double King and unleash hell on the tier 3, with the Metamorphosis going. And RP's there, but immediately rooted and countered by 4 Anchors. Who was that?
That was good. Ember. This fast reaction. DNM saw him, and he didn't even slide with fist. He just clicked the Searing Chains right as he got jumped by the Magnus. That was really a nice reaction.
Incredible. Now Mag is brought back, but he doesn't have RP. We can blink skewer. Oh, this is getting rough for them now.
Yeah,
Dawnbreaker's going to try and hold them back with Celestial Hammer all he can. You know, barracks are falling though. Now here's a skewer play. Drag the TB back in. Global Silence to protect. Double King, Big Sunder on the Dawnbreaker. Finds a couple of kills and they've got no buybacks. You've lost your Dawn. Magnus. Drow Ranger still here, standing and fighting back into the Necro. Essence Ring. Not enough to save him. Dota Sama's dead. And the Pinks to retreat are coming out. They want to try and finish off this lane of barracks first. Double King, gotta be wary. No Sunder, just relying on Aegis here to die and then respawn.
Tusk can jump the back line, but they don't have that much resources. I think Radiant just want to back out without the Metamorphosis. Just reset. Still, damage was done. Got the lane of racks. Got some big kills again. And losing your Necro, sure, it hurts, but I think TB will happily take that trade, you know? Lose your Necro, but get some extra kills.
Really still waiting to see when this Drow Ranger shows up to fights. We've seen a lot of Vagabond, we've seen a lot of this Looper offlane Dawnbreaker. Drow, what is she, 3, 3, and 3, almost 300 last hits. Hasn't really had the chance to like do damage to TB, right? That's why they have this Drow Ranger.
Yeah, nah, he hasn't really been able to do it. I'm still not completely convinced, by the way, about the Aghanim Scepter build. I like some other more direct builds than this. Aghanims did have a long time where it was super broken. Oh, hold up, Lina again. Getting run out. Dust is there as well.
I guess TP had a little bit of help, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the sentry from Silencer and then the Dust towards the end there, making sure she can't sneak away.
Well, Silencer got the last hit as well.
Yoink.
Somehow last touch of damage.
He deserves it. It was his kill due to the detection. Tusk, by the way, has Aghanim Scepter coming in, so this high ground push is not only dangerous, it's also deceptively scary, as the Tusk could kidnap someone. Magnus wants to do the same thing. RP's an illusion. Oh.
Yeah. I mean, your Dawnbreaker's now dead. Yeah, we're on the verge now. 6 feet from the edge. I think the Slayers are thinking. Might be too far down.
Yeah, could just sunder up on something else here. Get your HP back. Take the Silencer HP. Maybe. Yeah, he's looking real juicy.
He wants the Pike, and he wants the Pike and Sunder Disruptor or someone, though. I guarantee it. They want to go forward and sunder enemies. Necro right now is going to zone the Drow away, and Double King will finish off this second lane of barracks.
And there's a
There's
kidnap.
a punch and a kick, and Disruptor sent in. Dawnbreaker ulti going to land, but not connect on much. And there's the big Sunder on the Dawn, allowing DNF to backstab. Protected by the global, slighting and killing. Dawnbreaker dead, no buyback available. Drow in trouble behind their own tier 4s. On the run away from Dota Summer's Necro, who is on the hunt. They will be able to try. Oh no, they don't. They don't glimpse him back. Dota Summer still here with a BKB going wild. While Vagabond, Lina, and this IDFAA guy standing in the fountain waiting to see what comes their way, because 4 anchors. They've killed 3. No buybacks available. Third lane of Rack's about to fall. And they're going to dive past tier 4s again. An opening onto the Drow Ranger. Kills her off for 60 seconds. And GG called.
Anyone who steps too close, Roseanne got their number with this Tusk immediately jumping them. But yeah, this was a game where I said the Ember has to pop off and have a good game in order for them to be successful. And DNF